All right, we are live. Just did the round table. Shout out to D Styles, Cali X, B. You know what I mean? Everybody that was on the panel, that was fun. It got real passionate over Benavidez. You know what I mean? It's turning into a hot topic, or at least a polarizing conversation, which for the promoters, it's always good because they want subjects to be polarizing, where in reality, they're not. You know what it do? Roman, what it do? Jack, what it do? We out here. We are out here. You know what I mean? Sport icons, what it do? Sport archives, my fault. Victor, what it do? Luis, what it do? Ya tú sabes, manín. Estamos aquí en la vaina. El único coche que lo que es, manín. Aquí andamos. Víctor Jiménez. Bueno, el Bob Arum, el viejito de Bob Arum dijo que la pelea it did under 100,000. Eso es lo que está diciendo el viejo, pero quién sabe, porque he's the competitor. Él no va a decir cosa buena del pay-per-view, ¿me entiendes? So you could take it at face value, you know, if you want to believe Bob. Pero Bob said that it did under 100,000 pay-per-view buys. That's what he said. LDBC's most wanted said, de lo mío que lo que es, manín. What's up with the pay-per-view numbers? The only number that's out there right now is under 100,000 according to Bob Arum. You can take that with a grain of salt because it's Bob Arum, bro. He's not going to say nothing about the competitor's box office fight. He's not going to say anything good anyway. But that's the number that's out there. Ya estamos en jueves y todavía no hay un número. So that's not a good sign. Lo que eso me dice a mí es que ellos están contando y ellos están esperando for more buys to come in or whatever, because they want to put out a decent looking number. But it's the reality of today's boxing environment that just because a fight is a good fight doesn't mean you should charge people $84 or $75 or whatever we had to pay, because I bought it. And just because it's a decent fight doesn't mean that you should put it as a pay-per-view, you know? There's a lot of people that don't want to pay. There are a lot of people that are not going to pay. And that's what ends up happening, bro. That's what ends up happening. You know, so that's what Bob said, though. Bob said under 100,000. You could take that and run with it, or you could take it with a grain of salt. I choose to take it with a grain of salt. I'm going to wait until I see a couple of pundits put out a number, and maybe the truth will be somewhere in the middle. But it's Thursday. No number by way of Mike Kopinger. No number by way of Dan Raphael. The only one who says he has a number is Bob. Bob says under 100,000, you know, so you can take of that what, you know, you can make from that, you know, what you will. Jessica Sada, que lo que manín. Great round table talks. Jay, that chick MC was all in her feelings. She was big mad. Bueno, tú sabes. Yo no dije embuste. Yo no dije mentira. I didn't tell no lies, bro. I didn't tell no lies. Canelo never disrespected David Benavidez, but David Benavidez and his team have disrespected Canelo. You're trying to convince the world that because he's willing to go to light heavyweight and you're not, that he's running from you to fight a better boxer than you. You only gonna fool so many people with that dumb shit. And you don't fool me, bro. You don't fool me. You don't want to just be a good boxer. You have to propagate a narrative to where somebody who's way more accomplished than you is running scared. Yeah, right, bro. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know, that was I liked it, that round table. Things got very spirited between D Styles and B. They was going at each other. It was very, you know, very fun, very passionate. It's always fun when the subject matter is passionate. And then, you know, we're all on different sides of the fence when it comes to that. But my thing is, and I've said it already, I'm not against them keeping that kid busy. That makes sense because he only fought once last year. So I'm not against them getting him fights and making sure that he gets out there. What I'm against is how they packaging it. That, he's scared of us, so he ain't gonna fight us. Bullshit, bro. Ain't no reason to be scared of you, bro. Caleb Plant was calling y'all out in 2019. It was Sampson that said they wanted to wait. That's why the fight took so long. It wasn't because of him. It was because of y'all. And even though he lost, we see that, look, he's not scared to fight people, bro. He fought Canelo. He fought you. You can't make it out to be nothing other than what it is. Y'all delayed that fight. You could have been a unified champion. You didn't want to do that. So it is what it is. Now you are at Canelo Alvarez's mercy. It is what it is, you know? Michael, what it do? What it do? What it do? You know what I mean? You know, it's silly. It's silly. And we go through this exercise of guys that are supposed to be boogeymen that always end up falling short of their reputations. Andre is supposed to be a boogeyman. Dike. You avoided Yanni Beck. You didn't fight Zach Parker. You got dropped by Nicholson, but you're a boogeyman. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? What makes you a boogeyman, bro? Dímelo, ¿qué lo que? Who'd you beat, bro? En tres divisiones que ese tipo, tres divisiones he's been campaigning. Who has this man beaten? When I started following this channel, the narratives ruled boxing commentary. Now the audience wants more boxing and less talking, and I love to see it. Exactly, bro. That is the mission of Ring IQ. To sift through the bullshit. To make you smarter. For being around me. Because I'm smarter than everybody. Including y'all. Because I'm smarter than you. I'm just playing. I'm just being obnoxious. But you know, that's the goal of Ring IQ, to inform the boxing fan to make the most educated decision based on all the available information that I relay on the relay to all of you, so that you get a clearer picture of what's really going on, so that these promoters and their managers that's playing games don't lie to you. Here for you. Jessica Sala dice, do you know what Benavidez got versus Plant, and what is a number that Canelo and Eddie can offer David to get him to cross over? That's the thing, bro. That when it comes to that, hey, shut up!
Shut up!
Jesus.
Jesus is gonna help you if you keep playing.
Shut up!
You shut up.
Jesus.
Yes, call her.
Who washes hair for an hour? Get out the kitchen.
Because she got a lot of hair.
And
Black people do.
man, listen, man. Anyway, the point is, see, I lost my goddamn train of thought. Right. What would they have to offer David? And I'm glad that you brought that up, because you know that we were talking about that on the round table. What number do I think the Benavidez people would want to cross over to the zone? And I can tell you that if I had to guess, they're going to want more than Caleb got. They're going to want more than he got, even though David is not a champion. You don't have a belt for Canelo to win. But he's going to, Samson, the way he's going to play it, he's going to want more money, bro. He's going to want more money than Caleb got, and Caleb was a champion. You not. You were mandatory. That's it. You just a mandatory. But I bet you he going to want more than Caleb got. Oh, because I was on pay-per-view, and I didn't even sell nothing. That's what it's gonna be, bro. Anybody could look at this. If you just take all the nonsense out of it, you can see what they doing there. It's not. I don't think it's their goal to get Canelo in the ring. I think it's their goal to use his name to sell other fights. That's what I think, bro. The Haney versus Loma fight is on pre-sale right now, and it's already selling fast. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. That's a great fight, man. Shout out to Devin Haney, man. I've been a supporter. I'm still a supporter, because he's trying to compete at the highest levels of boxings. He is this division's undisputed champion, and he's willing to put it all on the line against Vasyl Lomachenko, who he don't have to fight. He chooses to fight him because he told the boxing fans he was going to do that, and here he is doing that. Shout out to Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Win or lose, I'm a fan. Win or lose. It don't matter who win, it don't matter who lose. I'm a fan of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Andrew already got his tickets. He about to go. About to go today. You know what I'm saying? It's good fights up and down. You know what I mean? Good fights up and down. Few disappointments. We know that Ortiz versus Stanionis is off. We know that Kenshiro Taraji, unfortunately, he will not be boxing Bomba Gonzalez, who got the WBO title. We're not getting that unification match, which is unfortunate, because I was really looking forward to that fight. Ooh, Deed says, is it true that Triple G is quietly retiring? Well, there's a rumor out there, Deed, that Zenford Promotions is pursuing a June fight with Triple G for Jaime Munguia. They're trying to get old G in the ring to have a passing of the torch fight with Tong Po. I don't know if they're going to get him, but that's the news that's out there. Do you think Sir Ed of Hearn will convince Canelo to take Benavidez fight first and hold off? Yo, I think he should, man. Being real with y'all, I think he should. If you know the Bivol fight is the harder fight, yo, you know what? Save that for last. Because you got a lot of journalists and you got a lot of people trying to act like Benavidez is a somebody. Handle that. Handle him and come back to Bivol. Common sense. Bivol about to be a father figure to these 3 Mexican children. He might if they don't leave his ass alone. If I'm Eddie Hearns, you know what I do? Top rank, y'all can have Bivol right quick. Y'all can hold him. Let him do the better B fight. Y'all can hold him. We'll loan him out to you. Yo, David, what's rocking, bro? You want to fight? You trying to get down? Trying to get down with the get down, or you trying to do interviews? What it do? You trying to fight Canelo, or you trying to talk about Canelo? What's rocking? Because y'all talk. Y'all act. Y'all talk and y'all act. And y'all fooling people. Y'all fooling a little bit of people with that BS. Talking and acting. Bivol putting his sons in timeout. Ow. Dragged them into a purse bid. For real, yo. I believe, and I said this already, like I said it many times, that I feel that Canelo, he tops out at like heavyweight. Perhaps there's a couple of guys up there that he could beat, perhaps. But, you know, just reign over super middleweight for a second, bro. Just reign right there for a second. Take out the trash. Take out David. Take out Demetrius. When Charlo move up, take him out too. And you the boss. You call the shots. You don't let Al Heyman strong arm you into a deal. Like, bro, who you think I am? I'm Canelo. You son of a bitch. Does Haney Loma do over 300K? That's a very good question. You have to consider that they have a good amount of time to promote the fight, and it's on a major network. It's on ESPN. That's the biggest sports network in the country. So that means that when you promote that fight, it's sports fans watching it. It's not guys that's on Showtime for weeds. Hey, shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up!
Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They talk too damn much.
You don't talk too damn much. You don't want talking.
Shut up.
Like 2 hours already.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't mute me when I tell you to shut the fuck up.
Why can't you shut the fuck up? Be quiet. Domo says fight.
Shut the fuck up.
Domo says fight David Benavidez in September. Fight the winner of Bivol versus Better Beef in May. Retire. He has nothing else to do. I like that schedule. That's a good schedule if you ask me. I think that's a good schedule if you ask me. You know what I mean? I would rather see Canelo kill that narrative than run it back with Bivol. I would rather see that sooner than later. I would rather see that. Like, yo, y'all love talking about me. Y'all love talking about me. Now here I am. And don't try to get cute with me. Don't start talking about multi-fight deal with your platform, with your promoter. I am not your fucking fighter. I will buy and sell you motherfuckers. Because I'm Canelo, you fucking bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shut up! You know what I'm saying? And yeah, yo, like, I just think that should be the pecking order, man. Like, I don't understand why, you know, he has his pride. And that's a part of what makes him a great fighter is the pride that he has. They're like, nah, I'm not going to take that loss lying down. I want to run it back. and I want to avenge it. That's a part of what makes fighters great, is that they have that desire to go back and right those wrongs. But Bivol is not going nowhere, and there's nobody really in that division that beats him. Not really, you know what I mean? Like, I would favor him to beat Better Beef. So if you know that, and you know that he not going nowhere, remember when Lennox Lewis lost to Oliver McCall, he didn't fight him right away. It was like 3 years and a couple of fights in between the first fight and the second fight. So take a page out of Lennox book, yo. Would Canelo add a rehydration clause? Well, I mean, like, one, he didn't add a rehydration clause to Callum Smith. He didn't add one to Caleb Plant. He didn't add one to Billy Joe Saunders. So we don't got to keep bringing up them clauses. And I say that because Callum Smith spoke to Talk Sport. He told them there is no rehydration clause in that fight. I could come in, I could weigh what I want. And Canelo still beat him. You know, he beat him easy, too. He made it look easy, and that's saying a lot because that was a big old guy, bro. That was a big guy. This guy's a lot bigger than Canelo, and he dominated him. So, you know, ain't gonna be no rehydration clause, man. Only haters ask those questions. Canelo been spicy during them workouts. He should be, because these little guys that don't want to pay the cost to be the boss, they shouldn't be able to use your name like that. They shouldn't be able to take your name and drag it in the mud because nobody excited about what they doing, because that's why they do it. If you fighting in fights that people care about, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to use nobody's name for nothing. But you've been doing a lot of nothing for a long time, so of course you got to talk about Canelo. Of course. You know, it's guys, they don't give Canelo credit for beating Caleb Plant, right? But you look at what David said, and I'm not even going to knock David. I'm just looking at what he said. He said that was the biggest fight of his career. He said that was the biggest fight of his life. You know what that was for Canelo? Another night at the office. Not even a big night at the office. But y'all trying to tell me that he not great, and he is? My ass, man, my ass. It's fucking Viva Mexico, cabronazo, coño. Viva fucking Mexico, coño. It's fucking Mexico time, bro. When Canelo fight, I feel Mexican. I'm Mexican when Canelo fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? For Canelo, that was another night at the office. I'm not knocking Caleb Plant because I don't mean it like that. I don't mean nothing bad about Caleb. I'm saying that for you, this is a step up. For him, this ain't even the best guy that he fought, bro. Viva Mexico, cabronen, pa' que lo sepa, coño. The Dominican-Mexican connection. That's what Ring IQ is, where the Dominican Republic meets Mexico. Recoñazo, coño. Coño y coño y más coño. Órale, you motherfuckers. Canelo country in this bitch. All right? You're not going to sell me these dreams, bro. If it was easy to do, you would have did it. Because you was there first. You was there before Canelo. If you couldn't get the other champions in the ring, the Gale was on your side of the street. Uskateki was on your side of the street. Plant was on your side of the street. It's no excuses, man. It's no excuses. Shout out to my man Hard Times, because he said it best on Twitter. Canelo fans don't cusa bullipeo. No. We buy, we support. Canelo country. Hijo de tu maldita madre, coño, pa' que lo sepa. You know what I'm saying? It's Canelo country in this motherfucking bitch. That boy is carrying boxing, and y'all disrespecting him. To prop up who? Why y'all disrespecting Canelo to big up these guys? One of these motherfuckers don't even fight. They talking about a guy that ain't fought in 2 years, and they trying to tell you Canelo scared of him. That man ain't fought in 2 years. Benny Wheaties isn't allowed to cross streets, ya tú sabes. Esa va a ser la excusa. Esa va a ser la excusa. We talked about it on the panel tonight. Shout out to all my good people on the round table. We talked about that. That hypothetically speaking, If Canelo did a 180 and said, yo, you know what? I don't want to fight Bivol next. Let me get Benavidez next. The question is, would David cross the street if that's what it took to get the Canelo fight? And it always turns into, oh, but this, but that. Bro, it's a simple question. Do you believe that David would cross the street if that's what it took to get Canelo? And I said it in plain English. I don't think they'd let him because I don't think that's the plan. This is the same old shit we always see. They'll start talking about a guy, but they won't fight him. They won't fight him. You know what I'm saying? You got one guy ain't fought in damn near 2 years. You got another guy that been at 3 weights and ain't fought a significant fight at 3 weights. And you got another guy, God bless him. You don't need to tie Canelo into what you doing. If you come out and you say, yo, look, I hope we get a Canelo fight one day, but we're not going to wait. I'm not going to bash him. I'm not going to badmouth him. I'm just saying it looked like he got other things to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. If he hit me up, I'll fight him. But if he don't, I already got some things I'm doing. If you package it that way, I'm going to rock with you. I'm going to rock with you. Like, yeah, don't lie to me, bro. Don't tell me he running from you. He running into a more difficult fight than you. Shout out to my man Willie Lynch. From music to media, people love giving fake props to screw-ups. Call me a hater, but I can't look at a guy who became undisputed in less than a year funny just because you hate him. Facts, bro. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that dude came in, he swooped in, unified the whole division. He was the most active fighter that year, fighting the most champions that year. What am I going to hate on him for, bro? That's why I'm glad Canelo's speaking English now, so he could talk his shit. I'm glad he's speaking English now. Tell these motherfuckers, it's a difference between me and y'all. It's a difference between me and them, all right? They them. They them. Whatever happened with you and him is you and him. I am me. And y'all, it's not me. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, motherfucker. I didn't used to be a fan of him. That's what people don't understand. I used to give Canelo a hard time. He made me a believer. The second Golovkin fight, I had to give him his props. He didn't spend it on the perimeter of the ring. He didn't spend it off the back foot working off the counter. He was bringing it to Golovkin like, all right, bro, you want the Mexican style. You want the Mexican style, right? Big drama show. I got you. And who got on the back foot? Golovkin. Who got on it? Like, I'm going to give you what you want. I ain't going to move lateral this time, bro. We going to go. And when they went, it was Golovkin on the back foot. Like, oh, shit. Wait a minute. Wait. Shit. Right? And then what he did after that, which I really respected, which is when I got on board. When he fought Danny Jacobs for the IBF, that's when I was like, yo, you know what? I have to concede. Canelo's a respectable dude. Why? Charlo was supposed to fight Jacobs. I was waiting for Charlo to fight Jacobs. I was even waiting for Andre to fight Jacobs. Y'all didn't want to do nothing. Y'all didn't want to do nothing then. Y'all don't want to do nothing now. That's all I see. Y'all don't want to do nothing. Y'all think y'all special snowflakes or some type of shit that you just don't got to do nothing. Well, then look, don't do shit, and I won't watch, and I won't care, and leave it there. All right? Good enough? Good enough. Go my man Mirage. I gotta let my man Mirage in on this action. I fucks with my man Mirage. I need some contrasting opinions. So I'm gonna fuck with my guy Mirage. You know, we got the Haney versus Lomachenko fight. They did the first official press conference for the match, and we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? Because I'm very excited about that shit. Drew, what it do? Drew, what it do?
What's up, fellas?
Man,
that Lomachenko, Lomachenko and Haney looking real right, bro.
I'm hyped for that fight.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that.
The only thing I worry about, Jules, one thing is just I just hope Haney rehydrates well. I know he'll make the weight. I just want him to rehydrate well.
Well, no, but that's a part of it. Like I like everything. I like everything about that fight because it's something working for both. Stylistically, Loma got the right style, but he's older than Haney and smaller than Haney. But at the same time, Haney got to battle that scale, bro. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, this fight is different than any other fight you had. He's better in every way than every fighter you fought so far. So we don't know what's going to happen, which is why we watch.
This is the first pound for pound fighter and Hall of Famer Devin's ever fought.
I'm going to go to the great Mirage in Melbourne. Mirage, what are your thoughts on the fight, and did you see the press conference?
I saw excerpts of the press conference. Yeah, the fight's going to be interesting. I think it's interesting. It's going to be make or break for one of those fighters. Is Haney going to, prove himself as the real deal, or just a temporary champion? And is Lomachenko going to justify and solidify the alleged greatness? Because if he loses again, say if he loses to Haney, where's he going to be? Like, his career, is it going to be like in limbo almost? And it might have to be reevaluated, in my opinion. So he can put he can certify this alleged greatness if he wins undisputed, or big question mark. And so yeah, this can go both ways. Both have a lot to gain and lose. So for that alone, I don't think it's going to be an exciting fight or anything, really.
No, I think it is, bro. I honestly think it. I think that
with Haney, really is going to allow that.
That's on the premise that Haney can slow the fight down. That's relying on the principle that you believe that Haney will keep Lomachenko at arm's length or spoil. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that because this is a different fight than any other fight he had.
Remember this too. Lomachenko has been after undisputed the whole time. That's been his goal. So his motivation is on high to do.
Also, he has a whole country he's fighting for as well, too.
Yeah, so this is going to be a much better fight than people think. And I honestly think that Loma can actually pull this off.
Well, he's got a Ukrainian Adrian at home. Rocky had Adrian, and he has Svetlana or whatever his wife's name is. And he is fighting for the honor and the glory of the youth.
Beautiful. Jules, what do you make of? Am I reading too much into it, or do I see how Bill Haney is reiterating more than once that, just to let y'all know, we a free agent on all aspects after this fight, win or lose?
Well, let's say this, Drew. On Bill's end, that's smart, right? And here's why. Even if it is your intention to re-sign with Top Rank, for example, not saying that it is or isn't, but if it is your intention, when you go back to the board or work to the negotiation table, proverbially, you want them to feel like you might leave, so they offer you more money. You let them know that, you don't give us the numbers we want, we gonna go to Matchroom, bro.
And to follow up that, Jules, what does your gut tell you? We get a nice dominant win by Haney, another coming out party. Do you see a bidding war happening?
Well, this is the thing. Win, lose, or fall, Devin's not staying at 140. At 135. He's not. So him having all the belts, they're going to get redistributed anyway, whether he keeps them or not. So if you're trying to get him on board for a 140 campaign, what do you have to offer him? And I happen to think Top Rank has better options for him. Who Mike is doing all that crazy shit? Top Rank has better options for him than anybody else, because what if Lopez beat Taylor? Now, I'm not saying that he will, but what if he does? Haney versus Lopez is a spicy fight for the WBO title at 140.
That's a big pay-per-view fight. I think a lot for Devin's going to make the decision after that fight because, okay, you beat Loma, Jules. You wait on that. It's basically Devin waiting to see what's the easiest path to a belt with his super status at 140, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, he could do that. That's the other thing, that if he does keep the belt as a WBO super champion, he doesn't necessarily need to be with a specific promoter to get the next WB. Who Mike is doing all that?
Sorry.
Who's watching the news?
I don't know. Like, if y'all got all that shit going on in the background, you don't need to be in the chat. Edwin Castillo says, I love how Canelo is a man and doesn't bash others. He doesn't stoop to the level of Team Benavidez, Saltweather, or Humpty Dumpty Ellerby. And yeah, you got to respect that, because for all the running, oh, Canelo running from me, he running from me. Canelo never got mad at him and said, it's all right, bro. All he said was, look, you a good fighter. You a good fighter. I'm a great fighter. It's a difference. When I fight Caleb, it's night-night. When I fight Caleb, when you fight him, gotta go to the cards.
When you know it's the truth, that's when you're gonna get fucking mad. When you know it's a fucking lie, you're just gonna be like, man, fuck these guys. They don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Now, Jules, if you're undisputed, can you move up and pick which something? Like, does the WBA and WBC have anything similar?
You can, but if you're Devin, look at 140. You got Rolly Romero, who might, well, I don't even know, because Puello has the belt right now, so let's go with Puello. Puello's got the WBA, nobody knows the man. Matias has the IBF, nobody knows the man, even though he's a great fighter, but nobody knows the man. There's not a lot of money in that. The BC is with Prograis, but Prograis don't have the marquee value of a Lopez. If it's Haney Lopez, yeah, you could sell that, you know, but that's if Lopez beats Taylor, and we don't know that he is. We don't know that he isn't.
So if those rumors come out of Cataract, Sonny, and Regis going into zone, it might. A lot's gonna happen. There's a lot of moving parts, like you said, Jules, in that last relay. There's a lot of moving pieces that's gonna shake up 140.
That's a bad move on Cataract. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not. Not if Regis comes with him.
Champions over there, bro.
Not if Regis comes with him. There may be 3 signings. Not if Regis comes
a
with him.
one-fight deal, though?
Bro, you got to remember that they don't just have – they got Liam Paro. That's Australia. They got Montana Love, and they got Richardson Hitchens. That's America. They got Stevie Sparks. That's, once again, Australia. If they sign Regis, you do have fights. You do. But if you ask Scott and Boxer, all they have is Josh Taylor. That's it.
Right.
What other 140s they got?
For Richardson Hitchens, to be honest with you, he's not even in a top 5 in any of the divisions.
But you got fights that you can build. See, what I'm saying is this: while the Taylor fight is a sensible fight for Jack Casserole, it's one fight. What you gonna do after that? It's one fight.
You're right, Jules, because he signs with Eddie and DAZN. Ayo, Jack, get rid of this fucking clown Montana for us so we can cut him, and then we'll get you a big money fight after that. Do this one solid for us, and we'll do you for you. Right, Jules?
The other thing is, look, Jack Cataract situation has been unstable. For those that don't remember, he signed the Probellum, and then Probellum goes under. He signs the Sky for the Taylor fight, but it don't happen. It don't go down. So if you Casserole, well, what the hell am I doing over here? What are y'all going to have me doing?
Is he going to be fighting Regis?
I hope. But at the same time, Matchroom can get you dates and exposure. The post that Drew made on Twitter yesterday, where Eddie was talking about all the different platforms that feature DAZN, right? You're going to get exposure, bro. You're going to get it. And you know that Matchroom has a lot of shows that they do in a lot of markets. So getting you a date on an undercard, just getting you a slot, being able to get you out, they could do that better than anybody.
Yeah, there's no way you cannot not watch DAZN anymore. You can go to the pub. You can watch it. I love that fucking clip that Eddie put out. He basically sunned Okoli and Buatsi.
Because them guys are stupid, bro. Like, look at David Adelaide. I said it this morning. That dude is you sound dumb, bro. If nobody watches DAZN, why you over here? Why you at a DAZN press conference? Nobody watches DAZN. I know why. Because Frank don't got nothing for you to do, bro. Ain't nobody over there nobody give a fuck about. And I ain't trying to be fucked up, but only reason I even know who David Adelaide is because I watch too much boxing. And I got to tell you, I'm not impressed. Hell no. It's the reason you over here for my man Flavio. Flavio Wardley is knocking motherfuckers out. That's what he's doing. What are you doing? Looking regular.
Only reason I know Ed is from the Sokolowski robbery. That's it.
You see that? Thank you.
Hey, Jules, I'm sorry about the noise earlier, man. I was on the wrong screen and I went to hit the mute button, so I apologize for that, man.
Guanato says Bob Arum. Hold on, one at a time. Bob Arum revealed that David and Caleb did under 100. Yeah, I know. I talked about it earlier, but I'm not going to be petty and run with that number because that's from Bob. I don't know if that's the real number. I'm going to wait till maybe Mike Copinger and Dan and they come out with a number to get a ballpark because I'm like, bro, Bob ain't going to celebrate their pay-per-view.
Did you just say under 100?
That's what Bob said. I seen the video.
Wow. What did over 100?
Under 100.
What fight?
What you think, bro? It was only one pay-per-view.
Oh, damn.
Shit. I went to watch it at the bar.
That's the case, man. That's pretty.
Bro, I went to watch it at the bar. Look, I didn't pay for that shit.
I bought it. I bought it, but I said that like just because it's a decent fight, don't mean you could bill it as a pay-per-view. That I don't, bro. That's a regular fight. I'm sorry to say that's a regular fight. That shit belong on regular Showtime. That's not
right.
I feel like that shit would have done like 200 when they were undefeated and champions, and now under 100. Shit.
No, porque también ponlo tú, manín. Porque ellos tienen un título, no significa que la pelea está caliente. La realidad es que really, Caleb, David, y'all are both $1 million fighters. That's what y'all are. But y'all don't want that. Y'all want 2 and 3 and 4. And the only way that is possible is to put you on pay-per-view. But if we do, the numbers is not going to be great because neither one of y'all is hot like that. You're not. That's what it is. It's like, realistically, the right purse for that fight, I would say David Benavidez, 1.5, Caleb Plant, 750. But they won't fight for that price. They will not fight for that price. I say, David, because you interim, you should get 1 to 1.5 as the defending interim champion. Caleb, you don't have a belt. You don't have nothing. You trying to redeem yourself. Now, if you could beat David, then we got some money for you. But right now,
nobody fights for the price these days. They're all overpaid. We know that.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Mirage, but the reason that the numbers come back low is because of that. Because nobody wants to fight for the price that they really is. Like, bro, Caleb, you not for $2-3 million. You not, bro.
And this fight, let's just call it what it is.
Bro,
this fight got. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
My bad. All I know is that David Morrell fight better not be on pay-per-view because that shit's gonna do worse, bro.
Bro, it will.
You know it is.
I'm just telling you now, it will be because the goal. Who Mike is doing all that? The goal is to make David a pay-per-view draw. Try their best to do it. Make him a draw as best as you can so that if he goes to the table with Canelo, he has something to show for it. But to me, they're doing it wrong. His fights belong on regular Showtime because if they are on regular Showtime, maybe you'll do some numbers. Maybe you do 1 million viewers or 2 million viewers, and then you'll amass a following, a real one, an organic one, the old-fashioned way. If you put the fucking fight behind a paywall, less people gonna see it.
And that's how I know they're not really committed over there, because if this whole notion, like they got a 2-year grace period, the fucking merger, Steven should be able to go to McManus and Benson and say, look, can we put these fights on regular CBS to build this guy's profile? And then bam, you beat all 3 of those guys on regular network TV, bang.
Yeah, because the only reason it ends up on pay-per-view is because the fighters think, oh, I'm supposed to get this and I'm supposed to get that. And bro, you're not worth that, but you trying to get that. It's just like the Lopez shit that he overplayed the hand with Cambosos. You should have took the short money for that fight. Why? Because you wouldn't have been struggling to make weight. You would have been all right. you wouldn't have had no asthma, and then they could have set you up for something bigger. But you wanted more than you really worth. And you got it, but it backfired. And it didn't end up on pay-per-view. You didn't get what you initially thought you was gonna get. It just ended up being a big old waste of time. With this, you are limiting the number of eyes that see your fight. And you don't want that. You want people that happen to just be scrolling past Showtime to catch your shit on the rebound, on the humble. You want that because then on Sunday, yo, it's this fucking kid, man. It's Benavidez kid, man. He's a bad motherfucker. Nah, you want to be a superstar already. You want to be on pay-per-view already. Okay, skip steps, bro. Just go ahead, skip steps. Do it. It don't make no sense.
And you know what? The haters are already out. They were talking smack about, oh, Canelo's ducking Benavidez and blah, blah, blah. I brought up the one dude. I'm like, how can he be ducking somebody who's contractually signed for 3 fights?
Bro, how can you be ducking somebody that couldn't knock out the motherfucker he knocked out with less punches? Coming off of a fucking 3-camp consecutive back-to-back. This motherfucker was off, bro. He was just at the couch and he was fresh, bro, and he couldn't get the job done.
This dude responds to me, goes, oh, well, this article says he didn't sign the contract. I'm like, yeah, just him and his father said that on live video. So I'll believe them before I believe an article, okay?
Listen, bro, I'm going to say this. This is the problem. If you just let David be great, you don't need the narrative. If you just let him do his job. See, they fake, and that's the problem. Jose is a phony. Like, you a faker, bro. You like, it's all in your face. That's why when Canelo was walking through the lobby, you seen old boy get nervous. Yeah, because you all about talking shit. You don't need that to sell David, though. That's the problem. You don't need to put Canelo in no light to sell David. Let David get out there and do what he do and let the work speak for itself. Motherfuckers will respect that, but you not like that. You got to prop up a narrative. You got to say a bunch of bullshit, and then motherfuckers is going to look at you like, my God, he's going to light heavyweight to fight a guy that's probably going to beat him. And then he about to do it again. He probably going to lose again. How you trying to convince me that somehow that's easy? That's not easy, bro. He probably going to lose that fight again. But you bumping your gums. Meanwhile, motherfuckers is respecting him because in here they know, bro, you don't need to fight Bivol, bro. Like, you not a light heavyweight.
Bivol's a bigger, more dangerous, more skilled fighter than Benavidez ever was, and he's fighting him. Why would he be scared of Benavidez? I mean,
if it was so easy, why isn't David done it? Why isn't David done it yet if it was so easy?
He's a dangerous. It depends how you define dangerous. I mean, a guy who's had 8 decisions in a row. Would you classify him as dangerous? I mean, yes. Good, very good.
Yes,
but
because
necessarily
another loss for Canelo to that fighter, another loss, it's not good, bro. It's more of a gamble. It's more of a gamble. But with David, remember, Canelo has 60-something fights. Everybody, damn near everybody is a greenhorn to him because he has been around for so many years in high-level fights. So realistically, if you wanted to go the easy route, you don't fucking go to Bivol. He has an edge, especially now. You don't go to him.
Nobody's saying it's easy. Like, he will almost very, very likely lose. And that brings me to a point I was going to make earlier. Say if he beats Ryder, say if he beats up John Ryder, he's got new momentum. David's got momentum. So this is the Benavidez Canelo fight in September would have great momentum. What if Canelo fights Bivol and he gets his ears boxed off? That derails.
Why do you think I don't want him? Why you think I don't want him?
Benavidez? It's awful. Like, on multiple levels, it's just a bad decision.
It's going to make Canelo look more human, and it's going to make the fight more exciting.
Yeah,
people are going to think that David's going to beat him.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Benavidez. All right. Let me break this down. For the last couple of months, you've been telling everybody that Bivol is next, right? And if you turned around tomorrow and say, yo, you know what? We not doing that. David, step up to the plate. That's that energy, the energy just off of you changing lanes. This will be like, oh shit, they're gonna fight in September. And because it's not even far away, like, bro, it's the end of the summer. That's not that far away. If you flipped it on them like that, it's new energy. And that energy is gonna show up in the numbers. Like, okay, David, I ain't gonna say nothing bad to you, bro. You telling me that I'm scared of you? Let's
Yo,
go.
IQ, what's gonna be the excuse when the PBC doesn't let David go to the zone, bro?
Bro, I don't even.
What are they gonna say, bro? What are they gonna say?
Bro, and I'm waiting for that. Let me read the super chat. Devin can fight Subriel. Nah, no, he cannot. Shout out to my man D Styles. He got very passionate on the live, and this is just it's funny that D Styles hit me as you said that, because that's what D Styles was saying. That, bro, if they tell David, yo, let's get it on, come to the zone, and he don't go, what's the narrative? Like, why, bro? Why not? You want Canelo, right? He the A side, right? So what is the problem, bro?
You know what these fucking idiots are gonna say? They're gonna be like, "Oh, Canelo always wants his way. Oh, Canelo's so fucking selfish. Oh shit." Like, that's the only fucking thing they can say, bro.
Well, guess what? He can be selfish.
The fuck we took like it's not complicated. This is the process that many fighters must undergo, at least historically, to hit that next stratosphere. Motherfucking Floyd had to acquiesce to Oscar, Canelo had to acquiesce to Floyd, and now you must acquiesce to Canelo, the all-wise and powerful. And if you believe in yourself, and you believe in your boxing, and you believe in your skills, you'll make it through. But if you don't, let's haggle. No, I can't be on the Showtime. All right, well, look, then you want to fight.
Yeah, my position, like for what's at stake, he should fight Canelo for free. If it comes to that, fight him for free. Like that's so I'm not going to accept any excuses. Put it that way. They have to fight.
Oh yeah,
he has
Mirage,
to make decisions.
So if he,
no, and I agree because he will absorb. You guys seen Highlander, right? Who remembers Highlander with Christopher Lambert? That I am.
Great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy on Talladega Nights said that movie was shit.
Well, fuck him. In Highlander, you know, every immortal like me, they have a sword, and David must take his sword and cut the head off Canelo to absorb the Mexican powers. Now, if you have
one, it can be only one. Jules.
It can be only one. And
that's going to be David Benavidez. Wait and see, motherfuckers.
I don't think so. Because I'm going to concede.
Don't get me hyped up.
Let me concede this to Mirage. Even if David, as a fighter, wants that, who playing music? You trying to get me in trouble? Even if David, as a fighter, wants to fight to test himself, his decisions are not up to him. That's the problem. His decision-making process is not on him. He don't have the autonomy to say, fuck what y'all talking about. Let's get it on, Canelo. And motherfuckers, he could lose that fight, and that's what people don't understand. If David did that and he lost, he don't become a nobody after that. He becomes a somebody after that. How Canelo became a somebody after losing to Floyd, David, you would become a somebody losing a Canelo. But right now, you just a guy who dad won't shut the fuck up. That's all you are right now. Just a guy who father talk too motherfucking much. That's it.
Yeah. Although David has been respectful. David's always been quite respectful even after the fight.
And why you think I highlight that? I'm not going to put all the shit that his father do on him, because these boxing dads, they get carried away, bro. Like, yo, chill, bro. You making your son enemies. You not making him fans. You making him enemies with the shit you saying. Chill. Even if that's the situation, I remember that David tried to leave the PBC. I remember he was going to go to Top Rank 4 years ago, and they pulled him back. They gave him a cash guarantee and all of that. They pulled him back. And that told me that, you know what? Maybe he do be wanting these fights, man. But he don't have control over that situation, bro. He don't have it. His daddy and all of them make the decisions.
Jules, these boxing dads are out of control, man. Big time. They're out of control.
For real.
Bro, I kind of understood the first time because he was younger, bro. He was more of a kid. But now, bro, this last time, he's a fucking grown-ass man. Why would you accept that shit again, bro?
It goes back to what I've been telling y'all.
Over there, bro. He doesn't just have, it's not just Canelo over there. There's guys over there, too, to warm up and shit.
But it goes back to what I've been telling y'all, what I've been reiterating about these Latino boxing dads. David, like Ryan, like Tio, they don't got no partners outside of their family. They letting their dad make all their decisions like they're fucking little mijos still. They're
Look
not letting like no,
look
let's
at
keep it real
Stephen.
though, Jules.
Look at Stephen. Look at Stephen. Stephen shocked us all. And the story that is out there, per Steve Kim, who told that, because he the one that told me, he says Stephen demanded that he knew he fight. That's what he told me. He said he had demanded that shit. And if we getting that, yeah, I get that he gonna get the purse and all of that, but it's that he fought for that though. Like still, like nah, I don't fucking feel like fighting Brandon for what. Let's get this.
And look at the difference between these guys with their fathers, Jules, and Devin Haney. Devin Haney said, "Pops can't go to Australia for whatever. Fucking, I'm still out."
Yeah, like that's how
you know what I'm saying.
If you're not creating excitement with your career as a fighter, then you might as well not even be fighting, because that's the point. You got to get people excited. You got to keep an air of spontaneity. That's why I feel, look, Canelo, if you listening, Chepo, Eddie Hearn, all of y'all, if y'all listening, skip that b-ball shit, bro. David Benavidez in September is the move. That's the move. And he will lose, and I will be right again. But what David don't understand is that losing to Canelo could be the best thing for you. Just fight him. Just put on a show. It's not. Motherfuckers not gonna stop fucking with you if you lose in a battle. They're gonna be like, yo, that David motherfucker, that's a bad motherfucker. Oh, not a lot of motherfuckers gonna beat him. And the torch can still get passed because Canelo is older than you. Eventually he's gonna go. But that motherfucker David is like, yo, that motherfucker fought.
Hey,
you can't
Jules,
put him down, that motherfucker.
You guys know, I don't know if you guys have been watching the Canelo interviews in his training camp the last few days. Now, we all agree Benavidez' fight is inevitable. Like after Bivol or in place of Bivol, that's pretty much inevitable. But when Canelo's asked, what do you think about the fight, he always seems to be saying, we'll see. We'll see. He hasn't taken the step, I'm going to fight David Benavidez next year, we're going to get on. Is that concerning that it still seems to be some obfuscation there?
I believe the reason we're getting will sees is because they're talking about doing that fight. See, and we talked about this, Canelo's telling everybody B-Vol in September. But I believe that they're wavering. That do we really have to do that in September? Do we have to? We can do Benavidez in September.
But even he said if the Bivol fight doesn't happen in September, he still said if that doesn't happen, well, then we'll see.
Mirage, ask yourself, why would the Bivol fight not happen?
Well, it still depends on Bivol's decision. Ultimately, people are taking for granted. Canelo just says, "I want to fight," and you're going to fight. I think they're getting carried away. He doesn't completely control like.
No, all I'm saying
Bivol's not desperate. I don't see people as being desperate.
All I'm saying is, if David was completely off the table to Canelo, right? Let's say Canelo didn't want to fight David. We don't get a will see. We don't get that. We're getting a will see because they're thinking about it. That's what I think. That's
why they're thinking about it. Why we've agreed this is the fight. It's got pressure. It's money.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
what's the go?
We're getting a will
see. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Look at the fighter that he's fighting, John Ryder. Yes, John Ryder is not the size of David Benavidez, but he's a rugged, come forward fighter that's going to put the pressure. And when's the last time Canelo has fought a guy like that? I think the John Ryder fight is kind of like a preparation to the David Benavidez.
Thank you. Well, John Ryder. Let me put it to you this way, bro. John Ryder is nothing like Dimitri Bivol, but he's a lot like David Benavidez. He's just not as tall and big as David Benavidez, but he's a pressure guy, and he's a guy who comes to throw. That's what he is. Yeah, now we can argue that, well, he is his mandatory challenger. That's the precedence for the match. But I'm just telling you, I feel like there are conversations happening to where they're like, how do you feel about fighting David in September instead of Dimitri? How do you feel about that? Do you want to do that? And I think he's thinking about it.
I think the good thing is he said he's open to it,
Ya,
That's
es
the
que
good
ya lo
thing.
hicieron encabronar, bro. Pinche papá habla chingo de mierda el güey. Ya lo hicieron. His dad pissed Canelo off, bro. Ya lo hizo encabronar. He
Eso,
just doesn't show it, bro. He's got a poker face, but he's pissed, bro.
porque él no le debe nada a esa gente, pero the way that, see, like I said, you don't want to let David be David. You know, you could have let David be David. No, Canelo got to be running from him. He got to be the boogeyman. Oh, this, like, yo, dog, like, you should have just chilled. Let the fans do the work. Let the fans tell Canelo. Instead, you pissed everybody off to where now I'm like, yo, I don't even want a B-Ball rematch. Give me Benavidez, bro, because that dude talk too much, and I don't like him.
Well, hopefully Canelo gets just as pissed off, right?
You better hope he don't, bro. Better hope.
Hey, let's go. Let's fucking go. The Mexican monster ain't scared of that shit.
Hey,
Let's
I'm calling.
fucking go.
Hey, I'm Jules. I'm gonna call it right now.
Mirage,
Hey, remember I said this.
You're the one
Remember I
to get in
said
the
this.
ring, man.
Go ahead,
Jeez.
Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, remember I said this. Regardless of the Bivol fight outcome, Benavidez will be his next target.
I'm trying to tell y'all I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. That's what's going to go on. It can only be one predominant Mexican pay-per-view star, and it's not David Benavidez.
Hey, Jules, I saw you this morning.
It's definitely a dude born in Mexico.
Randomly on another panel, the ringside reporter.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I found it interesting when he asked you how you rated David's performance. Even though we're obviously on polar opposites on Benavidez, we actually rated his performance the same, because I rated it as a 7.5.
If David was just a fighter, that I happen to catch, take away the narratives, take away the fan stuff, and take away the propaganda. If he was just a fighter that I happen to catch, I would say good fighter, limited though, but good. Limited but effective, 7 to 7.5.
But this is where we disagree. You're capping just because he had a 7.5 performance. You're saying that's it. He's a 7.5 fighter. But I'm saying this is a fighter much better than that, who just had a 7.5 performance, which is actually, if you go through any great fighter's history, we can pick numerous fights. Canelo did not look amazing on a number of fights. So you're capping him at that. Well, I'm saying there's more to go. That's where we really diverge.
No, I'm not. What do they say in boxing? You're only as good as your last fight. And I've always interpreted that as, until you show me more, this is where you are. Until you show me more. It's not a coincidence that that Caleb was the best fighter he's fought up until this point. And you know what? He didn't look as dominant. He didn't look like a monster. The first half of the fight, you had a guy who was really out hustling you. He was, while he had the energy to do it. And you know, as soon as he didn't, you took over, which is good, because it's just like D Style said on the panel. Any guy who has a good engine, you want that. That's and I said that myself before that. That's the one elite quality that David has. He has a good engine that he'll keep throwing punches and he'll keep trying, even if it's the championship rounds. He'll keep trying.
He's got more. I think he's got more, but I get the point. I get the point. Yeah. Have you rewatched the fight?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
Mm-hmm. And
so you still scored it the same.
Yeah, I still have it 7-5 David Benavidez.
Same. I had it 5-1 Caleb, and then after that, all the rounds to Benny.
That's how I had it.
When I first watched it, I had it looked like 5-1, but at the start. But when I rewatched it, David was doing some decent work even in the early rounds, and eventually I had it 3-3 in the first 6. I think it's underestimated.
The lack of jabs bother me, Mirage. The lack of jabs.
The lack of jabs, but he was doing that the left hand counter, some nice shots, and he showed. See, people think he's a classic pressure fighter when he's not. He can be methodical and patient, and he struggled to catch his man, but he showed he's another side. You know, he's not just this one-dimensional Frankenstein fighter. So I don't think we're giving him enough props in that aspect, because Clance, dude, that guy's hard to catch. You're not going to catch a guy like that at the start. You just, unless you are unless you have better feet. So there's limitations to what a fighter like David can do. So a little bit harsh. Still, there's things to work on, but
look, I think that every really good fighter, no matter what their base style, every good fighter has a good lead hand. It doesn't matter if they're a pressure fighter, a pure boxer, or a boxer puncher. The really good guys, they show me a useful lead hand. And my thing with David is you didn't. You didn't. And it would have helped a lot because you probably would have knocked this guy out if you're jabbing your way in instead of high guarding your way in. If you jab your way in, you know what he's going to do? He's going to guard up, and then you could punch him in the belly once you get over there. Instead, you coming forward in a high guard, throwing these wide punches that he could get around. That's not good. That's David Lemieux. That's what that is.
But Mirage, I mean, like
And
everything you listed about,
where we differ.
One second, hold on, Drew. I mean, everything you listed about Mirage is true. Mirage, I mean, everything you listed about David is true. I mean, like maybe he could also walk on water. He could fly. He could turn water into wine.
Had his time left in his career, you never know.
I mean, he can do a lot more, man. He's just the best super middleweight who ever existed. Like,
well, who got all that shit going on in the background?
Who's on the freeway?
Sounds like somebody's pouring water or something.
And let's not forget, this is his first time under the big spotlights. I mean,
yeah.
Right? What about he played it a little bit safe the moment. I think the pressure got to him a little bit and it made him more restrained than usual. That's a fair assessment, I think, for a 26-year-old.
Do you know why I can't say that? Because it's not like he didn't. The only difference, for at least for me, from where I'm sitting, you could disagree. The difference from this fight and every other fight before that is you was fighting a decent fighter. That's to me. That's
not the only difference. It's not the only difference. This was a pay-per-view. There's on the line. We've got the Canelo sweepstakes on the line. There's a lot on the line. He's talked it up big. Everybody's there to there's expectations. So just saying it's just a fighter, you're ignoring the context of it.
Mirage, let's compare two guys that had a step-up fight, right? And y'all know I don't like this guy, so you know I'm being unbiased when I use him as an example. Gervonta Davis stepped up at 23 years old, 21, 23, around there, against Jose Pedraza, right? Pedraza was the unbeaten IBF champion at the time. He passed that acid test with flying colors. He had not fought a fighter like that up until that point, but he passed it with flying colors.
Were the stakes the same for Tank then? Like the stakes, and he was still like more sort of up and coming than. I don't think the stakes were exactly the same.
But
like he had less to lose. He had less to lose.
But
I'm saying Benavidez had everything to lose.
Wouldn't you say that David, being a two-time super middleweight champion, you've been a champion before. You're not in your early 20s. You in your mid-20s.
Plus, he had a lot more fights as well.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it's a green, but I'm saying even if you take that into account, there was still pressure. Must have affected him to some extent. I mean, you can't just dismiss pressure.
I just think it was his limit. I just think it was the limitations he has as a fighter. He's not a jabber. He's just not a jabber.
He ain't what you think he is. I mean,
jabber versus a style like Plan. He's jabbed the fuck out of other fighters that are more in front of him. So I'm not going to make these conclusive positions yet. Let's see the next fights. Like
now, if he fights Morrell. Not saying that he will or won't, but if he does, now he's about to get his chin checked because Caleb is the best fighter you ever fought, but he's not a puncher. David is. So now we about to see what your chin look like.
Yeah, because he was talking about he had one of the best chins in boxing. Well, now we'll see if that fight happens for sure.
We'll see how.
I think that's an awful fight for both. I hate that fight. Really, I hope that doesn't happen.
Why?
What? Because that's a fight that's severely fucking undercooked. Severe. This is a fight that should be a huge fight, and he's going to fight a guy with 10 fights. If he beats him up, are you going to give how much props are you going to give Benavidez? Oh, he just beat up a guy with. Hang on, he's got 8, 9 pro fights. So he's got 7 pro fights, I think. So he's going to get no credit if he beats Morrell, and Morrell's fucking good. There's a risk that he can upset the apple cart, so he's got a lot to lose, but all to gain.
Why are you worried about? Why are you worried about him getting credit or not? Just watch the fight. Secondly, Mirage, where we differ, I agree with you that he can get better. But as long as that corner he has is there, he's not going to get better.
Yeah, like that Jose is going to do something new or different? Like, come on now. We had that conversation.
Mirage. You know he's been a pro for 10 years. He's been a pro since 2013. Bro, he's been a pro for a while, bro.
And this was his first step up after 10 years.
Let me read the super chats.
WBC 2-time,
Let me read the super chats. Jack says, if Nello upsets Bivol, better Beaver's next. Not D. I'm not settled on that. Mirage is such a crybaby. Canelo says we'll see, but Benavidez clout chasing Canelo's name when Morrell is next. And that's and that Canelo's done him and done
makes him great.
Okay.
Morrell's not next, everyone.
You know the funny thing, Joseph, real quick. You know the funny thing we're comparing, guys. This year, there's 3 fighters with their 10-year anniversary as professional fighters: David Benavidez, Gervonta Davis, and Anthony Joshua. Now compare those 3 in the 10 years.
Honestly,
I don't know. One of them's undefeated and 2-time world champion. I mean,
yeah, and one of them just now stepping up in competition. Just now.
Who the fuck is Tank beating? Who the fuck are these great fighters Tank's
Pedraza, let me tell you what. You know I don't like Tank. Everybody know I don't like Tank. But the Pedraza win is a better win than any win on David's resume.
After that?
I mean, Jules, you want to hear something funny? Like Jose Pedraza has gone on to become more accomplished and has a far better resume.
Yeah, he won a belt at 35.
And by today's standards, AJ is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Hall of Fame. He's lost like 2 fights. I mean, the Hall of Fame for the heavyweights. I mean, that's a bit lower.
Can you stop, Mirage? You just said no. Wait. Mirage, you said David Benavidez was Hall of Fame bound if he beat Caleb. We got the timestamp back in February when you said that nonsense. Okay.
Hall of Fame bound.
Don't denigrate.
Listen, it's not even that. You can't coddle David, Mirage. He's in his mid-20s. He's been a champion 2 times. He literally has more fights right now than Gervonta Davis had in the Pedraza fight. He's not a baby, bro. He's just limited. Like, yeah, you limited, bro. And that's what I've been saying. Before the Caleb Plant fight, I said, the guy is limited, bro. He is. And 10 years later, you don't look that different than you didn't. Like, you don't. You kind of look the same.
Didn't the Caleb fight prove that?
Look where Canelo was at 3 years after fighting Mayweather. That's when he was 26. Look what Canelo was doing 3 years after Mayweather. Benavidez is 26. What's he doing right now compared to what Canelo did 3 years after Mayweather?
Exactly. But by 26, he was already in a big pay-per-view with Cotto, was already in a decent pay-per-view with a couple of other guys.
And how did he look against a 35-year-old Cotto? How did he look against that? That was a competitive fight.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. You can't.
Dave is getting shit on for having
You cannot shit on Cotto. You cannot shit on Cotto when Benavidez looked human with Plant. Plant is not the equivalent of Cotto.
I never said that. But Cotto was 35. He was not in his prime. That's the point.
Mirage. No, I got you. I'll go with that.
Okay, good.
So, let's go with, all right, Cotto was 35. Matter of fact, let's go with the age of all the Hall of Famers Canelo fought when he was young. Cool. However, how many Hall of Famers did Benavidez fight when young, regardless of their age? How many multiple world champions did Benavidez fight when he was in his early 20s like Canelo?
Oh, wait.
0.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, and you cannot even quantify the level of experience that comes from sharing the ring with a slightly over-the-hill Cotto who's still a world champion.
How many have been available for David to fight? How many have been available for David to fight?
No, you can't say that when his promoter was putting off the Plant fight. You can't say that. For example,
Plant wasn't a Hall of Famer. David has not had the chance to fight Hall of Famers.
You had an old Kovalev that was there for the taking. You had an old Kovalev that was there for the taking. It's not that opportunities have not been there. It's that you don't want them. You don't want them. It's not complicated. This kid, what I see is you don't look that different from 2-3 years ago. You don't look that different. I don't see what new shit is you doing that you wasn't doing last year? What new shit?
By the way, Jules, didn't David turn down the Beterbiev fight? Wasn't he offered that? He turned that down?
He was offered that. He didn't take it.
He wasn't offered the actual fight. He was offered the number 1 ranking in a different division.
But if he wanted it,
if he wanted it, he still could have had it.
Okay, but if he wanted it, he would have took it.
If he wanted to move up into a completely different division at age, what, 23, 24? Do you think that's a fair...
You do realize that Canelo debuted as a welterweight, and by his early 20s, he was campaigning as a junior middle. He had campaigned at 2 weights.
Yep.
Sure. But I'm never going to criticize a fighter just at a young age. We're demanding... You have to move up and you have to fight. Not just any fighter. I'm not
demanding, Mirage. It's his career. He could run it how he wants. I'm just observing. I'm just observing.
But if you want to talk about Duck and Beterbiev, why don't we talk about Canelo having 2 fights there and he's still never fought Beterbiev? Nobody ever says he's Duck Beterbiev.
All right, well, how many
he's clearly avoided Beterbiev.
Okay, Mirage, how many 175-pound world champions or former world champions has Benavidez challenged?
No. Are you going to answer what I just said?
Mirage,
he had the chance. He could afford Beterbiev as well.
That's a valid retort. That's a valid retort. If you're going to use Beterbiev as a claim to lambast Canelo for having not fought him, what I'm going to ask is, okay, how many light heavyweights has David fought that were champions? How many?
Well, how many times has Benavidez fought as a light heavyweight?
None, because he doesn't want to go up there. He's scared.
Because he's not at that stage of his career.
Scared, Mirage.
Can I say something, bro? Yo, can we change the topic, man? I keep telling you guys.
We're gonna be on this for hours.
Wait, wait. I just keep telling you guys. And
who got all that shit going on?
Anyways, I keep telling you guys not to take this Mirage guy serious. He's not actually serious, and you guys keep taking him serious.
Oh, I'm dead serious. Who the fuck are you? Who's this guy? Do you run the show? Who's this chump?
Change the topic.
The next topic, though. But at the end of the day,
next topic is all right. I'm talking
at the end of the day,
and shut the fuck up. Now, who's doing that? Who want to get kicked off the panel with the sound effects? Now, the next topic, because we talk about Benavidez and Canelo too much, and that shit gets monotonous. This weekend, Anthony Joshua is going to be fighting Jermaine Franklin. Who on the panel believes that he'll end the fight before the half?
I do.
I think he's going to knock Franklin out.
I think he knocks him out. I don't know about before the half.
I got it inside 8. Inside 8. I got it inside 9 only because I think he wants to get some work in, some rounds in with Derek.
That's not
some work, Jules. Just some work.
No. Because that's what Golovkin did with Zaramata. He could have been knocked the guy out, but he carried him. If you watch that fight, you could see he was carrying the guy. So and he was with Jonathan Banks. So that's a little. I could believe that. I could believe that he might carry the guy a little bit, punish him a little bit, but because he need the rounds. Yeah.
Isn't a better question? Do you think AJ must TKO this guy and look very impressive?
Yes.
It would help.
Does he need to make a statement?
Yeah, I think he does. No, it's a good question. It's a valid question, and I do think you need to knock this guy out in a way that it shows that look, you could do what you did with Dillian White, but you can't do that shit with me, bro. I'm gonna put you in the hospital. So I do think he needs a knockout. I agree with that.
Now, does it have to be a knockout, or do you just want to see a domination, like an effective domination, where Franklin's corner stops it, or the ref stops, or just like I'm fucking this dude up for 6-7 rounds?
If you talking about if it's an ass whooping on the scale of a Brazil ass whooping, for those that saw the Dominic Brazil fight, he was just tearing him up. Brazil was never in that fight. So if it's that kind of domination, that is acceptable, because don't forget, it's not like Jermaine's ever been stopped. He hasn't. And some people don't even think White beat him.
Yeah, but he got hurt.
It's not Franklin's playing with house money. He's got nothing to lose. So it's not going I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying, Jules? He should beat him. He should knock him out, but it's not going to be
Like I'm just coming in here to Malik Scott him with
Shout
Wilder.
out to my man Anthony for the Cash App donation. I appreciate the beer money.
Nah, I'm probably the biggest AJ fan, but even I have to admit, like, he has to make a statement in this fight.
Yeah, like if you go with look, statement. If we being real, right? The indictment against Anthony the last couple of fights has been that he's not showing killer. You know, he's tentative when he goes in there with a guy. He's not committing to the power shots the way that he did before the Ruiz fight. So if you go in there in the second or the third round and you get him out of there in the second or the third round doing that, it sends that message that don't let Usyk fool you. I'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
like,
he's still here. He's still here.
Like,
otherwise, if he doesn't do it, then people are gonna think he's lost a bit.
So you just want to see.
Yeah.
So you just want to see an appearance by Big Femi when he got the man hurt on motherfucking load.
Oh, mira, this is what I look like right now.
No, because I also think that let's say that he goes in there and he's really tearing up Jermaine, right? For like 9 rounds, but he's really tearing him up that Jermaine is not in this fight. The takeaway from that could be, look, Jermaine is a tough guy because he's still in there, but if you get him out in, say, 8 or 9, I'll accept it if it's dominant. If you beat the fuck out of him the way you beat the fuck out of Brazil, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, because I don't think Anthony gains anything from taking him out in the first 3 rounds.
Well, no, not necessarily. See, if he gets the guy out of there early, you could reschedule another fight in a jiffy because I didn't even get hit. If it's like, yo, he go out there, he knock him out in the second or the third round, yo, I ain't even really get hit in this fight.
You're right there. That's a good retort. Just because I'm going off what AJ's been saying, like, dude, I want to be more active.
Yeah. If you're going to take a fight like this, you have to show up and do the business. A beatdown. I'll take a beatdown, but it has to be a beatdown, not just like a dominant, tentative victory. That's not going to work because that's not going to fucking prove anything.
Man. At least a TKO, if not a knockout.
And he's a good fighter for that. He's a durable, respectable sort of opponent. He's not a complete can. So it should be interesting.
Now, what do you expect? I expect a little quick round or two fill out. Just it's a new trainer. It's a new voice in your ear. So I don't expect him to come out guns blazing. You know what I mean?
I expect the knockout in round 4 or 5. That's when I expect it. I think he is going to make a statement. There's 2 reasons for that, though. It's not just because of AJ this and AJ that. If you'll notice, Jermaine Franklin lost a lot of weight. I think that's a mistake. It's fat guys that are supposed to be fat. You're not supposed to be skinny. You're actually a better fighter and perform better with the weight on you. We saw whoever got all that shit in the background, please mute your mic. When Andy Ruiz fought Chris Arreola and he lost all that weight, that shit did not help, bro. It made you lose your punch resistance and your shock absorber, that fat neck. The reason motherfuckers get knocked out, why? Your head go this way, but inside your skull, your brain go that way because of the G-force. With that shock absorber, Andy got a great chin, but his neck was all thin and shit in the Arreola fight. You supposed to be fat. Franklin, you supposed to be fat. And you got a 6-pack now, bro. I don't know what you think you gonna come in here and do, but nah, son.
Jules is adamant about his thesis about not wanting to fight fat guys.
Have you ever fought a fat guy? It's hard, man. Fighting fat guys is very, very
facts, bro.
I will tell you. I'll admit this.
Hey,
when I'm sparring, I'll tell you this. When I was sparring and I was 300 pounds as opposed to 240, I could take more punishment.
If you never fought a fat guy, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. If you never fought a fat guy, don't fight fat people. It's not easy,
you
bro.
Forget about body shots. Just let it go.
It ain't even worth it, bro. Aim for their nose, B. Because if you hit them, it ain't going to do nothing if you hit them in the gut, man. Just aim for the nose, man.
Jules, that's facts. I remember one time I was doing pad work with a buddy of mine, and he's never boxed before, and he threw a left hook, and I caught it. But this motherfucker nearly knocked my shoulder out of it. So I'm like, the hell?
No, they're power. What's fucked up about fighting fat guys, right? when they hit you, it ain't got to be a lot of velocity on it. It's a lot of weight on it. It's a lot of weight. It feel like you fighting a hurricane or some shit like better beef punches.
It's like the difference between
got a
power and
secret
strength.
weapon.
They're all power.
Got a secret weapon for this fight that we not talking about though. He got that Karma Serene lasagna for the night of the fight.
Yeah, he do have that. He been eating the lasagna. But on some real shit, I do think he's going to stop him early because Franklin is best mid-range to inside. Mid-range to inside, Anthony shows a good uppercut and a good left hook. But I think it's going to be the jab right hand that gets Franklin. Trying to get in, he's going to get caught. And I see him going out. I've seen him in lesser fights. I've seen about 4 fights of Jermaine Franklin. He get touched up here and there trying to get in. Anthony being so much taller, longer, and I do think he's going to be aggressive in this fight. I think he wants to show that aggression. He's going to put it out there, and I think Jermaine is going to be there for the punishment. So I say round 4, round 5, Jermaine going to go out. That's what I think.
We'll see.
And the good thing about that is, look, man, I'm not with, you know why I don't like this Fury shit? Because a lot of time got to go into that, bro. Like the negotiations and the zone and the beats. Bro, I just want fights. So fight Franklin, then fight Otto Wallin or Hrgovic. Then later on, let's go to the Fury shit. 2 fights from now. I don't want it to be the same shit from before where, okay, you knock out Pulev, then we going to spend 8 months in the fucking negotiation. Like, nah, come on, B. We already did that, bro. Fight somebody else, man. Because we already did that. And we didn't get no fight out of it. I know it's all, oh, yeah, the time is right. Fury is free. Bro, that man was free for Usyk, and they didn't fight. Why are you going to let him waste your time? For what?
And Eddie's already talking about it. I think they're going to do it all over again, unfortunately.
Bro, I'm about to fucking, I swear to God, I'm going to hit Eddie in the leg with a
Bro,
baseball
you got to get his number, man. We got to get his number.
On the more exciting things, what y'all got on Haney Loma?
Yo, man, that's such a good-ass fight. You know why I really like that fight? Because I don't know who's going to win. That's why I love that.
I don't know who's going to win either.
What fight? What fight?
Haney Loma, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Here's what I know for sure. What I know for sure is Devin wins the first 5 rounds because he always starts off very fast and strong. But Loma will win the last 3 rounds. That's what I know for sure.
Let's say this. Loma, this is what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for if Loma acting weird.
If he's acting old.
If he acting weird, like if I sense any aloofness, I'm going with Devin. If I sense any aloofness, if I feel any kind of fuck it in there, like fuck it, if I feel any of that, I'm going with Devin because that will show me that you feel you might lose. That aloofness, like, damn, this is it. If I feel any of that, that shows me you thinking about that. You feel like
I don't think so, bro.
Interesting fight.
He has a whole listen. He has a whole country behind him right now. I don't think he's gonna go in.
It's a small country, bro. It's like the size of Rhode Island.
It doesn't matter. But the country.
They're not going to fight in the ring, man. For you, that's not that important.
They're not going to fight for him, but
the country said this earlier. He said that Loma's always wanted to be undisputed. This is finally his chance.
Yeah, this is his dream too.
Chance. And this could be his only. This could be the last big fight we might see him in. Who knows?
So here's why I think here's why I'm so interested. Haney has yet to see an opponent skilled enough to get past his jab and make it an inside fight. Loma's gonna get past that jab, bro.
That's a very
and then here's where we find out if Haney got inside skills, man, we're in for a fucking.
Also, Loma's gonna fight off those clinches too.
That's what I was about to say. That if Haney, because look, I know that everybody doesn't like the spoiled tactics, but at the end of the day, it is an effective strategy that if you shoot the jab and he gets around it and he get in, man, fuck that, yo. Fuck that shit, you little
that's a tactic old as time itself in boxing. You can't.
It is, and sometimes, yes, the right thing to do. If your inside game is not better than his, don't be dumb. Tie him up. Don't be dumb. And that might be what he has to do. The thing is,
keep the fight.
Loma team is smart enough to know that Haney will try to spoil. So they have to have an answer for that. They do have to have it. You know he's going to try to tie you up if you get past the jab. He's not going to let you work on the inside. So I hope y'all got something for that. I hope. That's a good-ass fight, man. I love me a good-ass fight. Well,
undercard is nice, too.
paying for that shit.
Andrew going to get his ass knocked out by Junto. So,
yeah, he is going to get his ass knocked out.
Yo, I'm surprised about that fight, bro. Why'd they do that to him?
Junto about to fuck you up, my bro.
Andrew don't know nothing. Andrew don't know nothing about no Junto knock a motherfucking time, bro.
God.
If you thought
Why
he,
they
if
do
you
that
thought,
to him, bro?
yo, because they don't like him. Nah, matter of fact,
They must
Jules,
not like
I
him.
know what you about to say. If we thought that and knew we fucked up Jason,
I'm telling you, bro, like
Junto
Junto is a
end
valid, tall mother. Well, he tall for that weight.
He's
He
gonna
tall
end
for
up
that
with
weight.
his picture on a milk carton after the fight is over, man.
For real, yo. Bob ain't doing him no favors with that fight. I tell you that shit. Junto ain't with the bullshit, bro. He gonna knock you the fuck out, bro. So you need to know that. Ain't both brothers fighting on that card?
So wait, so Junto's coming for 118? Is that what he's
No,
coming
no. Junto is going up to 150. Yeah.
115.
150.
Also,
Junto is going up
Andrew's
to
going down
115.
then.
Jason is still a bantamweight. He's fighting somebody. Jason ducked
Yeah,
Nonito.
because
and,
the thing is, Ioka vacated the BO so he could fight Franco again for the BA. Now, the reason that Ioka vacated the BO is guess who was his mandatory?
Junto.
I know that.
He know what time it is. Like, nah, son, fuck this. I'm out. I'm gonna go fight Franco again. Fuck this. Got about that shit. It's Junto times, yo.
Hey, I don't know why you guys are so confident Loma's going to get past the jab. I mean, you watched the Ortiz fight; he fucking struggled. Ortiz, great movement.
Yeah, he still won though, didn't he? He still won though, didn't he?
I don't think he won.
It's not even that.
And a lot of people don't think he won.
Wait a minute. It's not just the jab. It's that Devin doesn't have power, bro. That's my thing. That
neither did Ortiz. Neither did
wait a
Ortiz.
minute. No, that's not true. That's not true.
That's not true.
And let me break it down for you. This is my view of the fight. Devin has a great jab, great timing, great speed, but you don't have to worry about him knocking you out. He don't hit that hard. You couldn't knock out Linares, bro. Everybody knocks out Linares. You couldn't knock out Linares.
That's his only points loss. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't knock out Linares. So where Loma had to give Lopez a certain level of respect because of the power and the speed and the counters, you might not have to give Devin that same respect.
I'm talking about the Ortiz fight, his last fight, which is the most relevant fight. Ortiz is not a big puncher, yet he was still bothered and he struggled to get to him until the later part of the fight.
I'll tell you,
you need to consider that
why,
shit.
Mirage, Ortiz, go back and watch it. When Loma would pivot, Ortiz would pivot with him. That's what was bothering him. You know, when he pivot and he tried to get to the side of the guy, he trying to hit him in a blind spot. Ortiz, in the beginning, Ortiz was not letting him do that. Like, no, bitch, I'm still here. No, bitch, I'm still here.
That guy was a 17-0 fighter. That was a green fighter himself, and he was doing his own tricks to manage Loma. So I don't think it's going to be, very easy at all. He's going to struggle with his. I mean, I'm picking Haney anyway, but I think this just getting past the jab, taking it for granted. I mean,
yeah, but let us not forget this too, that when Loma fought Ortiz had sparred with Loma, so he knew a lot of his moves and footwork and all that too before the fight.
That's true. They was old sparring
partners.
But what else you have to factor in is, don't forget, Mirage, Loma was coming off a layoff in that fight. He's not coming off a layoff in this fight. He has fought in the last 12 months, whereas before he was I think it was like a year layoff since the Comey fight and the Ortiz fight. That matters, that he actually has fought in the last 12 months. So I think he'll be sharper for Haney than he was for Ortiz.
Yeah, much more.
He fought Ortiz. And Ortiz is good preparation for Haney. Why? You need to fight a big young guy who could keep up with you for a couple of rounds. That was Ortiz. He was able to keep up with him.
Yeah, we should assume he's going to be at his best now for the stakes at hand. But yeah, we'll see.
It's a 50-50 fight, honestly. It could go either way.
It can. Motherfucking Edwards says, Reynoso said, I don't want to go back to that. Reynoso said they went for better beef before Kovalev. I got you, but I'm tired of talking about Canelo and better beef and I'm just tired of that shit. Aaron said Lomachenko only beats himself, and he's already done that twice. He's not a reliable and consistent fighter. With Lomachenko, you never know if you get in the Matrix or if you get in Dark City. For those
Facts.
I don't agree with part of that because you know what?
He might be onto something. Man.
When he fought Tio, his shoulder was injured. You know.
Here we go.
Yeah, but how do we know? How do we know?
Like Manny Pacquiao was injured against Floyd. I mean, we're going to take that as well. I mean, come on.
But I go to the old adage: no fighter goes into a fight in 100%. That's just you know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is this: sometimes he's the Matrix, other times he's fucking dial-up internet with his download shit.
No. Sometimes he's the Matrix, and sometimes he's Point Break. We could say that.
Yeah,
sometimes
I mean, here's the thing: regardless of the reasons for his like lackluster performance, they still happened. Like, you know, what he's saying is like the Matrix or deer in headlights. He still has that track record. You know what I mean? So
it's facts.
My man might be on
something. And you know what's exciting about that? Devin has those same lapses in fights where he just zones out and gets caught. I've seen it in 3 of his fights.
And that's the other thing that we can't act like Devin like Devin don't have moments where shit don't be right. If Loma get in with some of the punches that Jojo Diaz did, or if Loma land the way Linares landed, I mean, like, slow it up. And don't forget, Loma is not the one that is struggling to get to 35. He ain't.
All reasons why this fight's exciting and interesting, man.
I like you said, Jules, I think the weight cut makes this like almost a 50-50 fight.
I agree.
It's got to get to him at some point.
And he looked massive. Like everybody saw the face-off press conference, and everybody's noticing how much bigger he is than Loma. But don't forget that he got to shed all that, bro. He got to lose all that while observing Ramadan. That don't sound easy to me at all.
He's going to lose muscle. It's going to be, remember that Life of a Fighter with Crawford trying to cut weight for Gamboa? It's going to be like that.
Bro, it's gonna be a bitch, bro.
Will 140 even be good enough for him?
No, it will. It will. It's a whole 5 pounds that he don't have to shed, so it'll be all right for a while. It'll be all right. 5 pounds like that. 5 pounds is a lot to them guys, man, because they're not like Devin ain't 6 feet tall or some shit. He feel 5 pounds, you know what I mean? Having to cut that extra 5, so not having to cut it, he'll feel better up there. He probably a lot better. But
I wonder if Haney is underestimating Loma because he seems like almost dismissive. He seems supremely confident. I'm just going to own this little dude. Wonder if that's going to maybe backfire if he's overconfident.
We better not underestimate.
I know style. Look, I know that. Let's remove the handicaps. If this were just based on styles, that I'm 100% confident that I'll get 100% Loma and I'm gonna get 100% Haney, right? Just based on the styles. I would go Loma. It's the handicaps that even it out. That Loma is in his mid-30s. He's a lot smaller than Devin. You know, Devin gonna have some quickness because he's young and fresh. But how fresh, bro? You boiling down to 135. That's not easy for you, bro, because your body is literally still growing. Literally.
Do you think he's gonna lose some muscle cutting weight for this fight, Jules?
He gonna have to, bro. He gonna have to. He don't have a choice. That his look, that picture with Crawford says it all. He looked bigger than Crawford in that picture, bro. Bigger than Crawford.
This is one of them times I wish we had Nonito on to go deeper on this. And this is where fucking Hayam's wrong about this weight bully shit.
This is, though. It is. That because Hayam's contention is the big guys boiling down to fight smaller fighters, but what he's not factoring in is that, sometimes that shit takes everything out of you. You leave the fight in the gym. You end up leaving it on the scale. You know what I mean? So it's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. I'm torn, and I probably won't make a pick until fight week because I'm like, I don't know offhand who gonna win that shit.
If you're Papachenko, Jules, don't you want to make a concerted effort because he's cutting that much to go to the body early?
Of course, but not just a conservative effort to the body, a conservative effort to keep him moving and keep him working in the first quarter of the fight. That it's not even about landing punches. We trying to knock him out. And if we want to knock him out, we need to wear him out first. We need to keep him moving, keep him turning, keep him punching, keep him working, because he'll get tired before we do. We get stronger as the fight progresses. He will get weaker.
And Loma has more power in this fight, I would say.
Yeah, I would give him the edge in power. He knocked people out at this weight. He do, or he knocked people down. Devin, God bless him, he's not a knockout puncher. He's just not. Not
like
a knockout.
I know, like the Loma that fought Nakatani would knock out Devin. Because JoJo was stepping to Devin,
bro. Like I said, the fact that he went 12 with Linares, I respect the victory, so I don't want to put it down like it ain't shit. But I'm just saying that Linares is chinny though. Like, yeah, he is a chinny guy. Abdullayev stopped him, bro. The dude that Devin beat stopped him. Chinny, bro. So that he didn't knock him out, I think it's safe to say Loma don't gotta worry about getting knocked out, bro. You don't do that. You don't be doing that. Good fight.
I really hope Devin gets power at 140, man. His power back.
We shall see, bro. Because
it's not even it's not the power, brother. I just want to see him at 140 put more than 2 punches together, and then he'll start wearing fools down. Because he only does the 1-2 at 35. If he starts putting 3 and 4 punches together at 40, because he has the stamina and he feels stronger, you'll see a totally different Devin Haney.
But let's not pretend that that's not the land of the killers and the gorillas, because it is, bro. It ain't nothing but bad news at 140.
Land of the Southpaws.
I can't see Devin trying to stand in there and throw 3-4 punches or Regis or Subriel.
There's some guys he can beat at 140.
Some big old guys up there that hit hard.
I'd pick him against Lopez. I'd pick him against Lopez at 140.
Yeah, I would pick him against Lopez, but
I'd pick him against Puello, against Rolly, if you want to count Rolly.
I don't know. Well, he ain't gonna fight Puello, so
hey, is the Lopez Taylor shit real or what?
Yeah,
that shit is real,
official,
bro. In June, that shit is real.
I was in class today and I saw it at a glance on social media, but I didn't get time to read it.
Official, June 3rd.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would like in his first fight at 140. I could see him with a Chon Zepeda, Devin.
I don't know about that shit. If Chon get through one of them Chones, I don't know about that, bro.
He's gonna have to experience it sooner or later, though, Jules.
You know that's probably why they call him Chon, because when he hit a motherfucker, it sound like Chon. I don't know.
No, they got it from Popeye and Blood In Blood Out. He's like, give me some Chon.
Yeah, when he hit motherfuckers, they go Chon. When they hit the fucking floor, go Chon.
What should be his breakout fight at 140?
Bro, his breakout fight should be Javier Fortuna, bro. If it's good enough for Riot, good enough for him, bro. It's all bad. Yo, dog, I ain't exaggerating. It is all bad news up there, bro. Ain't nothing but southpaws and guys that hit hard.
Oh, give him Liam Powell. There you go.
That's a good fight.
Maybe that's what he needs, though, man, to wake his ass the fuck up. You know what I mean?
But if Liam Powell hit him with the Jock Barvis punch, bro, you better chill.
Yeah.
If you hit him with that Jock Barvis,
you see his sparring videos? He throws way more than the 1-2 in the sparring.
Bro,
he doesn't fight like that at all. It's funny.
Yo, the funny shit is Devin Haney's sparring sessions are more entertaining than his.
It's fact. Yo, wow. He throws like 6-punch combination in his.
I see the Hector Garcia shit. I'm like, yo, he lighting Hector up. Like he's lighting him up.
Did you see the Shakur one? That one's good too.
I didn't see the Shakur one. I need to watch that.
Go watch that. He throws like a 6-punch combination. I'm like, you never do that in a real fight. What the fuck?
He gonna be doing that shit, yo. You need to do that shit. Let your fucking hands go. But you know what? It's gotten him this far, and if he could win this fight, bro, he's a special guy, bro. I don't give a shit. He's a special guy. If he win, he's a special guy. Yeah, and Lomachenko, for him, the validity of all the claims they've ever made, and this has always been my stance. Loma was a pound-for-pound fighter. I rated him, but I never had him at number 1. Never. No, you bugging. Like, y'all giving it to him too easy. So this is going to be the fight that really validates all of the hyperbole. If you are what they say you are or what they say you were, you win this fight.
I think even on the card pound for pound list, he's the only non-champion on there Everybody
Well,
else is
I don't
champion.
have. You know how my shit is, Jay. I don't have.
Yeah,
about to get on my shit just for me to even think about you. You need to have.
Be considered. You got to have a belt. I know.
Hey, experience-wise though, Loma's bringing the better resume, man. He's been in with more craftier, different types of dudes.
That is true.
That is true. Mm-hmm. And he been in there with guys that hit harder than Devin. That is true.
Yeah, bro. He has 400 amateur fights.
I just thought about that right now. I was like, damn, I didn't think about
400 amateur fights. I'm sure he's seen everything.
And shit is it's a good fight, man. And then we got the JV Pee Wee football shit between Ryan Nail Polish Garcia and Javante Butterball Davis
for the social media championship of the world.
For those that don't know, if you are subscribed to the Zone, you don't have to pay $84. It's $60. That's it.
You know, David Haney, he reminds me, say, especially if he loses, like modern day sort of Corey Spinks. He also stumbled onto the Undisputed in a sort of easy way. Didn't hang around long. Similar sort of style. And once Zab fucked him up, he just sort of faded away. So
I remember
to me,
that.
Yeah.
Could you see that?
He won Undisputed. He beat up Mayorga to become Undisputed. I mean, that's hardly, it's sort of comparable to Kambosos, sort of. He was nothing special as a fighter, similar. I don't know.
Kambosos wasn't even as bad as Mayorga was. Man.
But can we say this though? It's guys that Kambosos beats. It's not like I just don't think that's fair, bro.
I don't know.
He don't beat Maxie Hughes, bro. He don't beat Maxie Hughes.
Is he about to fight him next?
Yeah, but who the fuck is Maxie Hughes?
I'm just saying that it's guys that he beat. That's one of them. His name is Maxie, bro. You got to be a tough guy for that to be your name, bro.
Oh no, man. He sounds like
you every day.
He sounds like he was named after a thing of makeup or something, man.
Maxie Hughes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, that guy that
you can find Maxie Pad.
That guy that Shakur is fighting knocks out Kambosos, bro.
You think so? The Japanese, yeah, he probably.
Yeah, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight, Shakur.
Makachino will knock a motherfucker out.
Name like Maxie Hughes, bro. You should have a mullet and shit.
For he big for that weight. He fucked up Masayoshi Nakatani Tower.
Yes, he did. I saw that shit.
That was the top. Yo, when that shit went down, the name of the tower was the Nakatani Tower, wasn't it? Nakatomi. It was the
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah. Nakatomi Plaza. Shit, I'm old, but real shit, yo. Masayoshi, he beat the shit out of my shit.
He beat the shit out of Nakatomi Plaza.
He beat the shit out of Katana Sword, bro.
Yo, this is kind of off topic, but
he hit him with the dim match.
I don't believe Shakur when he says he couldn't make 130 anymore, bro. I really don't. After 3 fights, you can't make 130 anymore. After about a year and a half, you can't make 130. I find that weird.
Let's say this: if he would have still been there now, what would have been on the menu?
Navarrete.
Why, you think he running? You think he running?
He said that's a hard fight. He said that's a hard fight.
He said that?
He said that. He said that. That's a hard fight.
You think
I saw the interview like 2 years ago or maybe a year ago.
I'm going to tell you what. And I said this. Stylistically, Navarrete has the style, but not the size.
That's a nightmare for Shakur.
The style that this dude is going to throw dumbass, awkward punches. He's not going to stop coming after you. He going to fight like a bonehead, and all this boxing shit you be trying to do, he just going to fuck that up. But remember, Navarrete makes mistakes that Liam Wilson showed us you could capitalize on. He's used to being taller than the man opposite the ring. So he'll literally lean over his lead foot trying to land punches, be open for counters. That's why Liam was able to piece him up in spots. Like, yo, he makes a lot of mistakes because
he's open for an uppercut all day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you got to think about that too. It's not like Shakur was small at 126. Nah, he was big for 126. He was big for 130. So, you know what I mean? He might have the right style, but not the right size. You know what I mean? Pause. Because that shit was a pause. But I ain't gonna jump to conclusions. Man. It's better that
I'm not saying he's dugging. I'm just saying it's weird that after 3 fights, I just don't believe him. personally.
You ain't gotta believe him. Will says, why does Devin get all the credit for going to Australia, but Kambosos won the Unified Championship in Teofimo's hometown of New York? Musty energy. That's a good point, man.
Musty energy.
It's musty. It smell bad. Like we need deodorant. That's not good energy. And I'll say that, look, George deserves his flowers because, look, nobody picked it. Well, not some did, but he did spend a large portion of his career on the road. He does deserve respect for that. He could have sat there and been domestic like some other guys. He chose to fight abroad. And, at least he could always look back and say, I was a champion, though. And I wasn't just a champion. I was literally the Ring Magazine Lineal Unified Champion, even if it was just for a little while. I was that. And I didn't duck no smoke. And I could like, it's respectable, in other words, that, yeah, you lost, but you lose with honor. So it's not so bad. You ain't ducked nobody. When push came to shove, you fought the fights. You could feel good about shit like that. It's worse if you do some bitch shit and then you lose like Wilder. You did some bitch shit, bro.
Did anybody hear the excuse he made why he hugged Tyson Fury?
I did a video on that sucker shit.
He's a loser.
He didn't just do
that
bitch
dude
shit.
needs help. That dude needs help, man.
He's lame, bro.
Wilder did bitch shit repeatedly.
Like all you, and I can't stress it enough that if you would have fought AJ, or for the size of the fight, you lose with honor, or you win. Maybe you win, but if you lose, you still lose with honor. And you won't feel bad. It won't be like, yo, look, I know I'm not a bitch. Why? When that shit came knocking, I didn't run away. I ran towards that shit. You ran into the arms of Tyson Fury. And it
literally.
And I'll tell you, and you know what it is though, too. I know we don't like to go that fucking Neanderthal on this channel, but it's a craw in his fucking ass that he lost to a gringo.
It bothers him, like, let's not, I don't have no hair on my tongue when it comes to that for him, given the way he carries on and what he says, I know it bothers him in particular. He don't look at it like, oh, it's just another fight or it's just another guy. That bothers him, but that's because of his worldview, he don't look at it. He got to tell his flunkies. He got to tell himself, man, they was against me and they cheated. Yo, bro, he picked you. You thought that you picked him. Bitch, he picked you. And it's because you suck.
Wilder is the most phony champion in boxing history.
Bro, he sucks, bro.
Bro, the most phony. He ducked a whole era of his fighters.
I relegate him to John Ruiz. Like I put him down there with them champions. I don't even
Bro, Andy was a better champion than him.
Like I said, Corey Saunders would have fucking ate his lunch, bro.
Oh, a lot of guys would have ate his snacks, bro. They would have ate
Corey
his
Saunders
snacks.
was a fucking high level fighter, man.
Talk that shit,
bro,
fucking Mirage. Talk that Corey Saunders shit.
Nah, dude, that guy was a fucking beast, man.
Bro, Corey would have fucked up a lot of guys that's running around here. And that is a fucking angry southpaw that could take a punch, hit hard. He built like a tree trunk. He'll fuck up Wilder, bro. He will fuck. I'm not even playing. I'm not playing.
I mean, he gave Vitali work. I mean, he eventually went down, but that was a lot of fighters wouldn't have taken those shots that he gave him. That was a fucking beast.
It's like this: put Corey Saunders, give him all the fucking title defenses Wilder had, and he might kill one of those guys.
Bro, look at who he was defending titles against, bro. Brazil, old Stavern that had not
Arthur fucking Spilka,
Glassjaw Spilka, motherfucking
Gerald Washington,
Gerald Abraham Lincoln Washington. Bro,
that fucking nosedive fight with Malik fucking Scott.
And Gerald Washington was still a prospect at that time, pretty much.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
They got him early.
Just because they were title defenses, they have more value, even though they're the same level. Even though they're bums, if you're defeating bums as a title defense, they give you more value. Like, he had all these title defenses. Yeah, so what? They're still bums.
No, I don't disagree with you. No, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But remember, Joe Louis has the standing record for the most title defenses, 25, right? And remember, Joe Louis also had the Joe Louis Bum of the Month Club. So
that's a different era, though. It's very hard. I mean, we're comparing the context of, I don't even know. Yeah, like contemporarily, the legit champions, they fought far more legit fighters as defenses. Back in the old days, like it's not. I hate doing those comparisons personally. I hate that.
I'll say this. I won't go as far back, but I will say that I have a lot of respect for Vladimir's title defenses because his title defenses consisted of guys like Chaigev and Povetkin and Pulev. And those guys, those wasn't no bitches, bro. It's the reason Wilder was around for all of them. And you skipped a lot of action, bro. That's all I see. I'm like, yo, you telling me this man debuted in 2008. And from 2008 to 2015, you didn't fight shit. You didn't though. I know the Povetkin and Mel. I know all of that. I'm just saying that you got guys like Helenius, a prime Helenius, not the one you fought. You had a prime Helenius who was a highly touted, unbeaten up-and-comer. You had Derek Chisora. You had a gold medalist in Alexander Povetkin. You had an Olympian in Kubrat Pulev. And it's none of that is there, bro. None of it. It's like, bro, so what the hell were you doing for 7 years?
And when he did step up against like a 38-year-old Ortiz, it was a fucking war.
Exactly.
It was rocked. It was knocked down. That was the only time.
Mirage, you mean a 48-year-old Cuban Ortiz with fucking hydrochlorothiazide blood pressure medication?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Chemical and all of that.
The motherfucker needed an exemption for his blood pressure medicine.
Bro, I know the New York State Athletic Commission, on the premise of Ortiz's blood pressure at the time, they was literally thinking about calling off the fight. You fighting somebody's grandfather, bro. That's who you fighting.
Yeah.
Fighting somebody's grandfather.
You could say Wilder was like a modern day Michael Grant, but I still think Michael Grant would have fucked him up. Personally.
At least Michael Grant fought for Undisputed.
Michael Grant had a fucking great war with the Polish dude. Holy fuck.
Galata.
Galata, yeah, that was a back and forth. He had him on the ropes. Like, Galata was a fucking beast. Like, I picked Grant over fucking Wilder.
You take away Wilder's defenses. All he is a fucking Esau Cruz at a heavyweight, getting famous off fucking losses.
Listen, bro. Galata will always be, because he was fucking bow up, and I will never understand that. I was in awe during that. Like, why does he keep punching him in the? You fucking him up. You don't need to punch him in the dick.
Bro, like in a rematch, he literally hit him with a 3-piece combination in the groin.
You see, he literally shoe-shined his balls.
Was it deliberate? Was it really deliberate? Can it be so insane that he did that deliberately? That's just mind-blowing.
Bro,
bro.
Like, how do you hit a guy 3 times in the balls and it's not deliberate?
Jules, you remember Jim Lampley? Low blows.
Seriously, he'll always be remembered as being Captain Kupchak, because that's what he does, man.
And I just thought, like, is this guy really this big and this dumb? Like, when I seen him, he did move. I was like, yo, this is not happening, bro. What's happening, bro?
But the reason it's so hard to believe,
Carl Moretti, a top rank, threw more legal punches in that melee than fucking Galata.
I remember the first fight. I forget the referee's name, but he was talking about. I said, I warned him. I said, Andrew, if you hit him low one more time, it's over. And I asked him, I said, do you understand? He said, yes, I do. Went right out there, hit him low.
That's why it's hard to believe it's deliberate. It doesn't make any rational sense at all. So this guy was like, had some mental fucking issues. Something was wrong.
And that's what everybody went with, because it's inexplicable. At the start of the second Bo fight, he was literally outboxing Bo. He was winning clean. And out of the clear blue sky, he starts punching him in the balls.
He definitely had mental issues, because remember when he fought Mike Tyson, he just all of a sudden he just quit and he was just upset and like out of nowhere. He had mental issues going on, man.
Yeah, like he has something going on though. I've always felt like I've heard that he kind of quit on Mike, and some people felt that Clifford Etienne, Bruce Seldon, that those was dives or whatever. But I'm like, nah, I think motherfuckers felt the wind and they felt the power off that punch, and they said, nope, I'm not getting hit like that again. Nope, fuck that. You're not going to get
with Bruce Seldon, the punch didn't even land, and he just fell. I mean, like,
and now Captain Kupchak has a son. It's Kalnaki, man. That's his protege. He's taught him how to punch in the dick too, and they're both from Poland.
Bro, I think Kalnaki should just retire, bro.
I agree. They fucked him up.
His punch resistance is gone, bro. And the reason I say he should retire is because he's a pressure guy. He's a pressure guy with a glass jaw. That is not gonna work out, bro. You a volume puncher. You a pressure guy. You like to be close to the guy. You gonna get hit, bro. You are, and they just gonna keep putting you out. You gonna end up like Spilker.
Helenius stopped him twice. I mean, come on.
Bro, he lucky shit. He lucky it was Helenius and not somebody else. Somebody else would have. Man, like he better think. It's sad what they did to him, man. Because you could have let Anthony knock you out, but at least you would have got some M's out of that, man. And you would have, you would have had something in the bank.
He turned down Chisora too as well.
But they turned that shit
down.
Yeah,
he turned down Chisora for $1 million. He turned down Chisora, and they put him back in there with fucking Helenius to get beat for a couple $100,000.
What a dummy,
bro! Nah, I don't think it was. I would call him a dummy, but I feel like that decision was not made by him.
Nope, I don't think so.
Not made by him, because that shit fiscally, they offering you an M to fight a guy with 12 losses. How do you turn that down to get knocked out by this motherfucker again, bro? You don't even want an in-between fight? That wasn't his decision, bro. That wasn't his decision. And May says Lou Duva put Trunks on the punching bag.
Oh, yeah, he did. I remember that. He did.
Because, that shit, I don't understand that shit, bro. Like you winning, bro. Why are you doing that? Like, a part of me felt like, is this some mob shit? Is he being paid to throw the fight? Because this just don't make no sense, bro. Like,
because what was funny is afterwards, he fought Lennox afterwards. We all know what happened, but
he got
Jules, I think you were old enough around the time. Was like the general consensus that was Gallardo a favorite going into the Lewis fight? Said because what he did to Bo, even though he lost twice. What was he a favorite? Or?
Oh no! We thought he was a more. I don't know how the odds makers had it, but I just remember this guy's retarded and he's gonna fuck it up. That's
right.
That was
it didn't go for long. It didn't go long anyway. Lewis just smoked him around.
In the corner and had a damn seizure, man.
He would have been seen as a legit threat, surely at the time. I don't know the odds either, but he was regarded, as a threat.
Well, Lewis put that shit. He put that shit to bed real quick.
What I thought of Gallardo going into the Lewis fight, I remember how I felt, and I felt like, this guy's a fucking moron, bro. That's all I felt like. This guy's an idiot. He'll fuck it up somehow. Because I couldn't believe that you was winning the fight and you did that. I like the boat. I couldn't believe it. Like I'm like, wow, bro. So going into the Lewis fight, I'm like, I don't know what this idiot gonna do, but he gonna do some dumb shit. That's all I thought. He gonna go in there. He gonna do some dumb shit again.
Lewis blasted him out.
Well, he smoked him. He smoked him.
Lewis was a bad dude. Like I remember what he did to Shannon Briggs. Fucked him up. You know what I'm saying?
That was a fucking beatdown. I mean, how many times did he get dropped, Jules? Like 5 times.
Like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was like 16, 74, 18 times or some shit. It was wild.
I saw that the other day on YouTube too. He
kept down.
At that time, Shannon had the most first round knockouts. Shannon the Cannon, he was knocking motherfuckers out. And there with Lennox, got his ass whooped. Shannon the Cannon, and that's a big part of the reason that I will never accept Wilder as a legendary puncher. If Shannon the Cannon, who has the standing record for the most first round knockouts in the heavyweight division, is not considered a legendary puncher, which he isn't, he's not, then why are you a legendary puncher? Klitschko has more knockouts than you.
No, it's just recency bias. That's all it is. You knock out a whole bunch of bums, and you think this is the greatest guy since sliced bread.
Thank you, because I'm like, there's nothing on the radar that tells me this guy is a legend. There's nothing, bro. Klitschko knocked out more men than you fought, and Shannon has more first round knockouts than you do, and they are not considered legendary punches. So
Fury was the puncher in their trilogy ultimately. Tyson Fury was the puncher. He walked him down, and he beat the fuck out of him.
Exactly.
There's your puncher. You got walked down by Tyson Fury.
I am never gonna consider him. I don't put him like all-time great punchers, Brody. No, there is no legitimate claim for you to be an all-time great puncher.
Sure is.
I would put Jimmy Young in there before I put Wilder, bro. Jimmy Young.
Yep. He dropped Foreman. Fuck.
And Ron. I'll put Jimmy Young and Ron Lau before I put motherfucking.
They're legendaries. I'd even put so many others before that.
Wilder embarrassingly fights like he's drunk in the club when he starts flailing. He looks ridiculous.
Yeah, the windmills.
Yeah,
I just think he is one of the best disguised because that they really fool people with this. I really believe he's just one of the best disguised hype jobs in modern boxing. Because look, with Spence, I have my reservations, but he is a good fighter though. Like I won't take that away from him. He is a good fighter. Like he has things that he does well. And there are other guys like that, like Gervonta. I don't have a high opinion of Gervonta, but he does have good counterpunching. Yeah, he does. He has good counterpunching. But with Wilder, it's like, bro, are you even a puncher? We know you're not a boxer. Are you really a puncher? Because I'm like, yo, dog, if Povetkin would have caught you at the right time, anywhere in between them 7 years, he would have fucking beat you.
Yep.
Pulev would have beat you. Chisora would have beat you. So I'm like, bro, he's.
I think Dilly would have got him by that point. There's
nothing real about him, bro. Like I'm like, yo, let's be honest, bro. What is real about this guy? What?
It's twerking. It's twerking.
It's weird. Like he knocked out Ortiz. Ortiz actually gets up and he gets counted out, and they think, oh, greatest puncher of all time. I'm thinking this is a standard heavyweight knockout. This is normal. But they just, when you have that reputation, even on a normal knockout, it's exaggerated to some.
It's so fabricated with him. It's so fabricated with
normal
him.
Shit. I haven't seen like George Foreman or Tommy Morrison or Ruddock, Sleep People, or just so many. There's so you can just keep going.
The first time he fought Ortiz, man, when the doctor walked him around the ring for like almost a minute.
They gave him extra time. Yeah,
that was.
That is
right. I know. And my thing was this. I saw them do that in the DeGale fight with Jack. I saw them do that. Was also in New York, by the way. So I was kind of like, well, probably because it's in New York, they did that sucker shit. I do look like what it looked like, but I'm like, I. Even though looking back, you could see like, yo, y'all trying to save this man, ain't y'all? Because y'all know he out on his feet. Y'all know he is. He in trouble, and y'all trying to save him. Sucker shit. There's nothing about his career that I'm like, bro, what is your claim to fame? What, beating Stavern? Demetrius King beat Stavern, bro. Like, what's your best win? Luis Ortiz. That's it. That's all, bro.
Look, Jules, you just hit the nail. It's like he's claimed beating Stavern. You couldn't even stop him in the first fight. He had been knocked out before.
And I said that don't you notice that when he fought Stavern, while Stavern was champion and he was in the top 10, you couldn't knock him out. That's what I see. You couldn't knock him out until he was older and more inactive. So I'm like, I just don't understand what is the buzz, especially now because, you lost the 2 Tyson Fury fights. You're not a 2-time heavyweight champion. And this bothers me, right? Because I'm like, it's only a handful of 2-time heavyweight champions. A lot of guys, when they lost the crown, they never got it back, Anthony's in that list. He did manage to get it back. He did. And there is a chance that he might become, not a great chance, but there's a chance he might become a 3-time heavyweight champion. But y'all call him Chinny. He been knocked out more times than him. Imagine if AJ got hurt by a Harold Skolniers. Never mind an Andy Ruiz. Imagine if AJ got knocked down by a Harold Skolniers. What would people say? But y'all give this dude all this love. I'm like, yo, I don't understand that shit, bro.
And you know what? I agree with your comment about his best win, the Luis Ortiz. If Luis Ortiz is your best win, like, dog, is that something to write home about?
No.
It ain't Hall of Fame worthy, that's for sure.
Povetkin, Ortiz is what I see, bro. Listen, y'all got a lot in common, you and Povetkin, but he's a cut above you in every area. As amateurs, he qualified for the Olympics. You didn't. He got the gold in the Olympics. Wait, you didn't. Povetkin has been around for years, beating guys and knocking their ass out. And he only ever really lost to the top guys. Klitschko, Joshua. Yeah, he beat Dillian in the first fight. But think about it. What's Luis Ortiz's best win? Exactly. Povetkin, at his old motherfucking age, he knocked out a top 10 in Dillian White. A top 10. Dangerous motherfucker. He stayed a dangerous motherfucker for a long time.
And sadly, you got mofos actually sitting there saying that Wilder deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Do you know what's sadder?
He might get in.
Probably get in. He'll get in.
You're right. I gotta agree with you on that. It is sad.
It's based on his shitty defenses.
Or for the title defenses, he might get in. That's so crazy because they're gonna offer the emotional bullshit that I'm like, yo, y'all hyping him up for a trilogy that he lost. And he never won any slice of that trilogy. Remember, if we go off of the official outcome, the first fight is a draw. Now, most people think that he lost, but let's just go with the official outcome for argument's sake. You didn't win the first fight. You definitely didn't win the second one, and it was just more of the same in the third. And this is what you're high on.
I mean, the last I checked, don't one of the fighters win one fight of the trilogy usually? Like it's like flip flop. Like usually one fighder wins.
That's
one
one of the
two
most.
fights, and then,
The only trilogy more one-sided than that is Fury versus Chisora.
That's
the only trilogy I could think of that's more one-sided than that.
You know what? His whole behavior all along. I mean, the twerking, the fact that I wouldn't mind being pregnant. I would like a body in the ring, and then crying about Fury cheating. I mean, come on, that's supposed to be Hall of Fame worthy. Think
about it. One minute he wants to kill a man in the ring. The next minute,
we go through with this man.
You don't know what we go through with this man, bro. You wasn't saying that when you was trying to catch a body in the ring. You was running around telling anybody that'll listen. You want a body on your record so you could do the Sally Struthers. You don't know what we go through, man. He never gonna eat at Denny's.
The fact that he was actually twerking like a woman. That is just the most unbecoming behavior of a professional boxer ever.
Motherfucker sitting there crying because he can't change the batteries in the remote. I'm like, yo, this dude is such a fucking phony, bro. And I really don't like him for that too. Because I'm like, yo, you told Brazil you was going to kill him in front of his family. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
They let you rock, bro. They let you so you could turn around at the press. You don't know what we go through, man.
Talk about he want to cripple his dad. Like, I want to cripple your daddy. All that crazy shit. Like, bro.
Like, yo, this dude is such a fraud, bro. Like,
stupid shit like that. It's like, man, come on.
Dude is wild fake, bro. He never gonna get to be a father. Bro, you was trying to kill somebody, father, not but 3 years ago. Like, what the fuck, bro? That dude is fake as shit, bro. I don't know, man. Oh, well, I think his career's winding down, though, man.
We'll go fight Nagano and see who watches. So,
no, I mean, look, he could make a lot of money with that fight. Let's not pretend that he won't, because he would make a lot of money with that fight. You know,
I won't be watching it. That's for sure.
On some boxing shit, though, bro, I just don't see what the sport has for him. Like, I don't really think he gonna fight AJ.
Neither do I. That fight's not happening.
I don't think it is, bro. I don't think like he got this resentment of those guys, and I feel the resentment comes from them kind of exposing him, kind of. They're like, yo, we offered you $100 million, bro. You the one turned it down.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, if that's true and he's upset, it's like, bro, every choice you made, I mean, it's led to your demise, and you made those choices.
For real, you didn't. Nobody told your ass to play with Fury. Nobody told you to do that. You chose to do that.
I wanted you to fight AJ when the time was ready. I wanted you to do that fight, but you didn't want to do it. And I could list several more examples of like ways you fucked up your career.
I mean, how in the hell can you turn down $120 million? I'm sorry.
You got Al Heyman making you empty promises about Mayweather money, and that's how that happens.
And you're the dumbass that chose to believe him. So
shit was stupid, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm just glad that his career is winding down, because even though there's a good heavyweight scene here. You know what I mean? That you got Jalalov and Makhmudov, and you got Ditchko, and you got Garcia floating around, and you got fucking, you got the Ituama kid. We'll see what he does. You got Jared Anderson. You got
Richard Torres is floating around too.
It's like we got something to look forward to for the future. And Wilder, he 38 now? So his career,
about to be. Yep.
His career is winding down, man. Like for real, it's winding down.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be around in the next couple years. He'll be gone, man.
I don't think so, bro. Like I don't think he's gonna stick around much longer. I don't even know what he about to do. Is he about to fight Ruiz? We'll see.
Don't think so. I think if the fight was gonna happen, we'd have heard some traction on it by now.
I mean, he in the gym with Malik, so we'll see, bro. Because
so that means he's training for a fight. Question is, which one?
He doesn't seem to want to fight Andy.
Yeah, but he in the gym for somebody, bro. I just wonder who. If it's not for Andy, then who, bro?
Probably Francis.
So
like everybody talking about some Wilder Usyk, and it's already established. Usyk is in negotiations with Daniel, so it's not gonna be Wilder Usyk. That really only leaves Andy. That's it. And he better win that fight, because if he don't, his quote unquote legacy, he won't have one. If he loses that fight, the way they're going to be remembered, depending on how it breaks down, maybe Fury's remembered as number one. Maybe Usyk is remembered as number one. Number 3 will be AJ, and number 4 will be Ruiz, not Wilder. You better not lose that fight, because if you lost to Fury and you never fought AJ, you never fought Usyk, but you did fight Andy and he beats you, that takes you down a peg. Yeah, you won't be in the top 3. No, how?
He was never in the top 3 for me anyway. So.
I got a question for you. So what do we got coming down the pipe now?
I mean, we got Lomachenko, Haney, we got Inui Fulton, we got Ryan and Tank, Canelo Ryder, we got. I mean, look, polarization aside, if David Benavidez does fight David Morrell, that is a good scrap. It's a good scrap. Like I like this. I like the fight.
He can actually, do something to Benavidez and take him out, though.
I think he could test his chin. That's what I think.
Hey, I'll be honest. Even as a Benavidez fan, the Morrell fight would make me anxious.
He could test this. He's
got tools. He's got tools.
Yeah. But for Team Benavidez, it is smart to face him now, because look, motherfucker.
Yeah, don't let him develop on you, man.
Exactly. If you wait, he gonna just be more dangerous later. So you better do it now, because he got.
How much credit are you guys going to give him if you beat Morrell? Let's keep it real.
No. I would give him as much credit as I give Charlo for beating Lubin. I give him credit. Yeah. I just don't blow it out of proportion, but I would give him credit.
Yeah, I mean, he would deserve some
credit. I
give
him props. He deserves props for that.
Because who the fuck is in a hurry to fight that fucking guy, bro?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Not like Andre.
In a hurry to fight that fucking ain't no reason on earth to be bothering that.
Yeah. We got Joe Joyce and Zhang too coming up. That's gonna
that's
be
the fight. I like that fight.
When is that?
On the 15th of next month.
Oh,
just in a couple weeks.
I can't wait to see that fight, man. I think Zhang's going down, man, but I want to see that fight.
Yeah, I got Joyce in that shit, bro.
We're gonna be watching 2 heavyweights fighting underwater. It's gonna be exciting.
Well, it's gonna be good. Somebody's getting knocked out. It's gonna be good for as long as it lasts.
No, because what's intriguing about that fight is Zhang can actually punch. So we'll see if Joe Joyce really does have the bomb shelter chin. We'll see.
Wait a minute. They're not slow. They are methodical.
Nah, they're slow.
Joy Joyce is fucking Joyce is both. He's fucking slow and methodical. Like that guy's as slow as like the last punch he threw. I don't think it's still landed from his last fight. It's still coming. Honestly,
that's true. Honestly, it's like that.
Nah.
Joe Parker with, right?
Nah, that if you look at that last shot that that shit really do look slow motion though. Because I put it in the intro. And I'm like,
momentum in Georgia went through Tennessee.
Bro, he probably still throwing that punch, bro. He's still throwing it.
But the thing, all his punches give him props. Probably hurt like
he's a juggernaut. We'll give him props for sure.
We'll see. No, we'll see what he is. We'll see because
up, man.
because and I've maintained this that Baba Jennings was not a puncher. right? He's not a puncher. Joseph was not a puncher. He's known for good boxing and having a good chin, not big power. The only guy that had power that I seen, he was landing some shots, was Dubois. But what kind of power, bro? Dubois was a prospect, and so was you when y'all fought. Now, Zhang showed us, he could stun a Hrgovic and he could drop a Hrgovic. So now
he left himself open for that shit. I mean, he was his. It was almost like his mind wasn't there.
You gotta admit, Zhang killed that boogeyman shit real fucking fast. He killed that shit.
No, I won't argue that.
He killed that shit. Like, don't nobody think Hrgovic is a boogeyman no more. He killed that shit. So at least we know this guy can punch, and even worse, he's a fucking southpaw. So this is a good scrap. It's gonna be slow, but it ain't gonna go. It ain't going the distance. That I know. Somebody's getting knocked out.
Moss says that Hrgovic had just lost his dad, so that would make sense why he wasn't totally in the fight then.
Yeah, that doesn't explain no defense and just eating these clean shots, man. I don't buy into those.
You know what does explain that shit? I'll tell you what explains that shit. Jay know what I'm gonna say. Ronnie motherfucking Shields. That's what explains that shit. Anybody with Ronnie Shields in their corner starts looking bad. Anybody.
Jules, isn't Ronnie Shields a great trainer?
My ass.
Hey, Ronnie Shields got to take some to give some fucking method tried and true, dog.
Bro, Ronnie, anybody, if you see Ronnie in the corner, you don't know nothing about the fighter, but you see Ronnie in the corner, just assume they're gonna look like shit, bro. Because that's what happened. What the fuck be happening?
Hey, by the way, question: when is that Eddie Hearn thing coming on, man?
Which one?
You were talking about a possible interview with him.
Oh, not man, shit, man. That was weeks ago, man. I had an inside connection that was supposed to get me that, but it ain't come through, bro. It ain't come.
Ah, man, that would have been cool if you did.
I mean,
wait a minute. Some of the gals you talked to, the female fighters, they got his ear. Some of them.
Who the fuck you think I'm talking about, bro? I'm trying to get the inside connect to get Eddie Hearn on here so y'all could ask him the hard questions, bro, and I can make money. Keep trying, I'll keep trying. It'll have to be brief though if we do try to do that, because that motherfucker ain't got an hour to spare, bro.
Right.
That motherfucker could do some interviews. On that note, I'm gonna go to sleep. Gentlemen, I will see y'all this weekend when I go live for Joshua versus Franklin. Catch y'all on the next one.
Night, y'all.
Night, fellas.
Good fun.